If you wanna see me in my land,
Okay, give me 10 seconds. I'll be right back.
nigga creative got all the fucking pictures, bro. This nigga- Oh, lost my destiny, I lost my thing. Beautiful. Where's MK, bro? Let me get my glass of water. You know, I have to come with some water. All right, no, my Amaterasu is gonna have me here for a couple hours.
All right. So how we starting, yeah?
Yeah, first of all, let's wait on MK. I don't know where he's at. I wish Clay was here too, so but
It's currently 5:35. I've got to be at the gym by 7:30 to maybe make room for
Your
7:30.
fat
But
ass
yeah,
is not going to the gym.
I'm trying to make everything done fast too.
like
Quick.
1:50. Yeah,
Wait, okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we
I can
can.
hear you.
Okay, that was crazy because I was speaking the whole time. Shit. Yeah, so fuck.
Yeah,
Are you
the
guys cool with Nova being one of the judges or not? Do you guys want me or like?
uh, Amaterasu, how do you feel, bro? Like,
Tenkai.
I don't really mind. Honestly.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure no one's biased and shit. Like I'm feel yeah. So
just make sure that nigga Nova not tripping, bro. That's all.
yeah. Nova knows, you know. All right, so
You can tell Nova unmute, and also Amaterasu, do you want to go over any prerequisites? Because I do got like two of them.
I mean, if you suggest prerequisites, then I can either confirm or deny.
But I just don't want to go into like a million of different skills. I was gonna say you can try to scale your character two different times, and it can't be the same scale. So like, if you try to scale Naruto planetary, you can't scale him to planet, and you don't pop it off or you lose that point. You can't do it again. You can't go for planetary Naruto again, and you only
Okay,
get two different scales. You cool with that?
I feel you. Yeah, that's good.
It's only because of the time shit. Like, I don't want to be here all day.
Yeah. All right, you want to start?
are you guys doing tiering system or no tiering system?
Nah,
I
we,
don't.
we
I don't think a tearing system is needed as long as we understand
Okay,
where
for
each
sure.
character.
Any BOR?
Uh,
don't.
I'm not leaving,
I,
so
I think me and
Yo,
Amaterasu, we gonna.
Ja,
it depends
can
on.
you go ping again? Can you go ping? And tell niggas that it's starting.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Sean, you want to get started?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
I'm good.
Wait,
You're
you have
good.
Naruto, right? Amaterasu?
I have Naruto. Shonen has Natsu. That's low key. That's
Good.
betrayal. That's betrayal, though. Like shit.
I know. Trust me, I know. Bro. Trust me, I
All
know,
right,
bro.
man.
All right,
All right,
so
Sean,
you go ahead and go first, or what am I doing?
you want to go first?
I don't want to go first. The
Yeah, I'm
thing is,
scared.
All
is
right,
like,
bro.
I don't have a lot of Natsu skills. I only have like literally only two prepared. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to
it's
go
like,
off of what you're going off of. You know.
and I'm trying
Coin
to do the
flip.
same. I'm trying to do the same thing because I guess yeah, we can do that because
You start an AP.
like I said, Amaterasu, I literally just got one skill. So
So what? You want me to start, or you gonna start?
no, yeah, if you can start, that'd be better.
All right. So where do you want me to drop scans?
Scans one. Also, like
Scans one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather drop the scans in your DMs, G.
In my DM,
Yeah.
Bro.
I think it's gonna confuse
Actually,
everybody.
I'll do it.
No,
I'll do it in
no,
the group.
just put it in Skins boy.
I'll
He
do
has
it. I'll
the
do
he
it.
has, he
Add
has the
Nova.
best 3 Naruto scales.
Where? Where you gonna put it at?
I'll do it in the group.
Okay.
You, MK, add Nova to that real quick.
Put me in the group. Put me in the group.
Real quick. Amaterasu.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to do the Amaterasu shit?
I'm not. I'm not dropping the Hagoromo skill. Definitely not here. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
good.
Bro, he's trying to hide an infinite speed skill that everyone and their mother has, bro. Like Amaterasu, you're doing the most, bro. Drop the scans. Drop the scans, bro.
No, they've never heard about it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So
What are you gonna scale for? Like, what are you doing? Speed or you're just scaling your character?
attack potency first. I feel like we should go AP speed. If except you want to like equalize speed, so we just do AP.
Nah,
I do
we can
want to do
do
it.
speed.
Come
Can you hear
again?
me good? We could do speed. We could do speed
All right.
alone, like stuff on its own.
Okay, so AP speed.
Mhm. Oh,
Hmm?
let's do AP speed. You just go ahead, scale your character, and I'm gonna scale my AP and speed right after.
AP and speed.
Yeah.
That's boring, yo.
All right then.
Bro, who
Shit.
cares? Just do it, bro. Like, just
Just do
start.
your AP.
Bro, stop lollygagging. Just do it.
All right. All right. So, Shonen, what do you believe the distance between life and death is?
The distance between life and death.
The physical distance.
Mm, I mean, it depends on the subject or the object and the beginning of their life and the end of their life. That's what I
But
say.
anyway, well, life and death is not subjective like that. It's objective. The distance between life and death, the physical distance, if you were to travel from life to death, it's going to be an
Oh, you
inexhaustible distance.
talking about
And
in
it should be
terms of time, or what? You talking about a distance? Like you talking about like meters, miles, or are you talking about time when you say the beginning or I guess the end, life and death? What are you talking
life and
about?
death. Actual physical travelable distance between the living world and the afterlife.
Actual what?
Actual physical travelable distance between the living world and the afterlife. Do you know what that is?
The living world and the afterlife.
Yes. Do you know what the distance between those two are?
I would say you don't actually travel any distance.
Well, you believe so.
Well, I mean, from what you first of all, bro, just your scale. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're not just
I
gonna ask me questions that just
have
don't
to make sure
matter.
you understand what I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, just
Don't
go
tell me
ahead.
to, don't tell me to go back and re-explain because hey, it's you who told me.
Just
All right,
hold on.
anyway,
First of all, tell me where you're about to try to get Naruto.
I want to scale my character.
Yeah, because like depending where you want to scale him, I might just give it to you.
Hey, let me finish first.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, buddy. All right. So in the scan I dropped there, Obito was literally able to traverse the distance between the living world and the afterlife, right? Seeing as he's able to do that with his Kamui. Right. And if you noticed, when he had even more chakra, he wasn't able to traverse the distance between Kage's dimensions and states that it's due to the fact that it's a vast time space or it's a vast space time or space. It doesn't really matter. So the distance between life and death being an inaccessible distance, and he's able to traverse the distance quite easily, casually even. This is with less chakra. And then with Kage's dimensions, he talks about how difficult it is, right? Indicating that Kage's dimensions is bigger than the inaccessible distance between life and death.
I don't think Obito was actually like I guess where you would consider death. I think like spiritually he went somewhere, didn't go into the actual end of his life, came back merely because he didn't even actually cross the I guess the death part,
Mhm.
and that's why he's able to do that. So I don't know if like you're saying wherever he's from is inaccessible to Kaguya's dimension. I mean, it would seem like wherever he's at is he could just open a space time portal that which he has access. He knows how to get to Kaguya's dimension after a certain time. After he I guess he opened up Kaguya's space time after a couple times with Sakura's help.
So is that
So I don't,
and
huh?
so essentially, if I'm not mistaken, you're saying that Obito hadn't actually gone to the next world yet. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Correct me if I'm mistaken, of course.
I would say like he's not actually dead. Like he's
He
not
hadn't.
existing.
I mean,
Huh?
he did die, but like he hadn't died at that point yet. Is that what you're saying?
Well, because you
Real,
know
real
Hakurama.
quick, can I ask for clarification? Because like obviously you guys don't
Go
want to
ahead.
judge this side. Real quick, right? So Amaterasu, are you arguing that like Obito traversed the distance between life and death, and then
Hmm.
like if he traversed that distance like is an inaccessible distance, and
Well,
so he couldn't.
it is objectively an
Uh,
inaccessible distance. He's able to traverse that distance.
oh, okay. I'm just okay. So like, and
Yeah,
so him not being able to traverse Kaguya's dimension implies that
even
Kaguya's
more.
dimension is
Yeah,
inaccessible.
it was even having more chakra was unable to travel Kaguya's dimension. Talking about how vast it is
Okay.
in game dimensions, yeah, are bigger than what he was able to traverse, which is inaccessible. So it's unquantifiably bigger than that inaccessible distance. So yeah. So Shonen, if I'm not
Wait,
mistaken, you said
uh-huh.
he hadn't died at that point, or he wasn't in the next world yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically, Obito isn't actually in the part where he's inaccessible to Kaguya's dimension. I actually don't ever think like Obito is ever inaccessible to Kaguya's dimension. He could always access her, even with just like a little bit of chakra. Always access her space time. So
So yeah, I
uh,
don't think you're understanding me. I'm not talking about Obito being able to access. It's the distance between them is inaccessible, like the inaccessible cardinal.
no, yeah, no. I mean, you would have to prove that it's like the universe is infinite in size. If
No,
he's
but
just if he's
it's
just
not
hold on,
about
hold on. If he's just opening, listen, please. If he's just opening a wormhole, like which his commonly does, and he's just opening and he's just going to another part of the universe, then you're not saying like, oh, this dimension is actually inaccessible to the other one. And so I'm thinking Obito isn't actually dead yet, and he's still accessible to the universe that he came from, and he's just
okay.
opening another wormhole to another part of where Kaguya space time is located. I don't know where it's inaccessible though.
Okay,
Okay,
hold
so
on, real quick. This is gonna be like one of the few times I ask for clarification. I'm gonna do it for Shonen this time. So, like, Shonen, what you said was a little bit ambiguous. Are you saying that like he's not traveling via speed? It's a wormhole. Like he's not crossing
Yeah,
distance through.
he's not. He's not actually traveling a distance. He's just opening a wormhole that takes him to another part of the universe.
okay, so
And that's what his
essentially,
commonly does.
from the second scan already and other scans in the past, we know that the distance is incredibly important when it comes to space-time ninjutsu. So yeah, it doesn't like can't just say the distance doesn't matter. The distance does matter, right? So it's not just like, oh, he's just activating some hacks. He actually has to be able to uh he actually needs enough chakra to actually assess that distance.
Um, but it having a distance would just entail because first of all, this is a is this when he was opening to Kaguya's root time space? Because I think that was the only one that was technically hard for him to get to.
No, all of them were hard, and this is
But
the one
at the
where
same time,
actually.
why
Mhm.
why exactly is it hard? I don't know if it's hard because one dimension is inaccessible to the other, or because Obito was in the verge of fucking dying and he just couldn't use enough chakra to open up his own space time
Yeah,
portal.
that's exactly my point. He was on the verge of dying. He wasn't able to do this. And even after, right, even with less chakra, he was able
No,
to do this quite
he
casually.
even on the verge of dying, he was capable of opening the portal.
What was that?
Even in the verge of dying, he was capable of opening the portal.
Yeah, he was barely capable of opening a portal, right? Now, this distance, he's barely capable of opening it, and he states, oh, it's due to how vast it is. But then just a while after, right, he casually travels this inaccessible distance, and says
Why are
nothing
you
about how difficult it
presupposing
is.
that it's inaccessible already? Like,
Since he traveled
why
was
are
less
you
than
presupposing?
target.
I apologize. It's just like, why are you presupposing that it's like inaccessible already? Like,
Because
what
that's
do you
the
It's only
That's the
because
limit.
it's only because Obito is struggling to connect to the other space time that you think that the distance is approximately inaccessible at least.
Okay, I don't think
Or
you understand myself. I feel like we should go to conclusions soon. Okay, so that scan literally states that it can't just go like that. He says chakra is the energy that connects two worlds, right? Indicating that he's already in the next one. So right, he's literally going back to that world. So then he uses the karma and then he transfers back to the living world.
what do you mean by the next one though? Because like it says that chakra is an energy that connects two worlds. That could just mean like two worlds itself. Like
Contextually, it
like
cannot be talking
Jupiter
about
to Earth.
anything. Yeah. Conceptually, it can be talking about anything except living world and the
Yeah,
after
no,
everyone.
the uh, in Naruto, like they always refer to worlds as dimensions, and they always refer to traveling to different parts of the universe with their time space is just traveling to different worlds. So that's my thing here. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if you're just
it doesn't
I don't know
apply
where
here.
you get the part
It's
where
already
where
dead.
it's infinite. Like hold on, I don't get the part where you say like one dimension is inaccessible to the other. Like where do you come to that? Where do you come to that conclusion to the conclusion
I'm
of
not
the
talking
distance?
about
Can I
dimension.
can
No,
I can I try to explain it? Because
please go ahead.
so basically what he's saying, Shonen that not Shonen, yeah, well, yeah, Shonen, that basically Obito is able to travel right a distance, right? Well, we won't even call it life and death because that just makes it more complicated. Just he's able to
Yeah,
travel a certain distance, and that distance that he's able to travel, right, is an inaccessible distance, right, and even greater than infinite distance, right? And then saying that he could not travel the Kaguya's dimension, implying that Kaguya's dimension is greater than the distance that he traveled before, which is inaccessible.
I know.
Because
But why is it inaccessible? Is my question. Like where did Amaterasu show it's inaccessible to the other world?
That's the
Or
because
distance
he's
the,
between.
saying that like it's directly correlated to like the amount of like the distance is directly correlated to the amount of chakra you use. So the bigger the distance, the greater amount of chakra. And so basically, you saying that Obito has enough chakra to travel an inaccessible distance for the life and death. Are you asking like why life and death is an inaccessible the gap like distance in the first place? Is that what you're saying? Like,
no, first
is
of
that what you're
all,
confused about?
first of all, I don't know how Obito is actually traveling an inaccessible amount of distance and not just opening a portal that takes him to another part of the universe. Like, I don't know if that's actually
Okay,
traveling or just
how about this,
teleporting.
showing? I'm gonna say this, and we can go to conclusions if you want. I'm gonna try to explain it the
Okay,
last time.
can,
Shonen hit
can
it
you
on we die.
hold on,
No,
please? Can
forget
you
Shonen.
tell me? Hold on, please. I'm about
Alright,
to stop because are
okay,
you
okay, okay.
feeling speed
No,
or what
this is
feeling?
this is type this is type potency. I mean, speed can correlate with this easily, but this is type potency.
Wait, I'm confused. I did this argument clearly seems to be speed, but okay.
Bro,
It's
that's why I'm also confused because I like first of all,
I said
I,
earlier that I was thinking it could apply to both. So like, can I go on? Can I like? I literally don't have all the time in the world.
okay, you know what? Just go ahead. But I don't know how you prove that. That they're inaccessible.
Okay, good. I could if you okay, I could if you wish. So you being a living being existing in the living world, what distance do you have to travel to get to the afterlife?
My body isn't going anywhere, especially in Obito's case. His spirit is the one that's traveling.
It doesn't matter. It still has to travel an actual distance.
Okay, and even if it's traveling, how do you say like, oh, he's traveling to an inaccessible point? Because honestly, like I said, I don't think he actually crossed, death. I
Right.
think that he's just
So
in another
yeah,
part.
as I've already shown, he literally states that chakra is energy that connects two worlds, indicating that he's already in the next one, as he can already see Rin, who is dead. That realm is definitely not Earth.
Yeah, and
It's
and
the
like
after,
I said, he
and
always
he's
said when
literally
they
going
say that
back.
they're
Real quick, let me finish. Right, he's literally
okay.
going back to the living world to see Kakashi. Right, so as I said, with the inaccessible distance between life and death, what distance do you have to travel to get to the afterworld from the living world? Right, no matter how far you travel, you can leave the universe, leave the multiverse, travel an infinite distance, 10 infinite distances upon each other.
Hey,
And
you're
inaccessible.
presupposing that there's a multiverse.
Okay, I'm not presupposing anything. Right, that's just how it is.
No, it's not. Like you obviously got to prove it. Like you're presupposing that he went, he traveled the whole multiverse to get to where he's at. That's
I'm not
not what
saying
happened.
I'm I'm not saying I'm just using the multiverse as an example of the distance between these two realms, or should I say, yeah, I'll just say realms. Realms is perfect.
And you're saying it takes Obito's chakra.
Mhm.
It takes Obito's chakra to range an inaccessible amount. Okay, you know what? Just tell me what you're trying to prove, and I just might give you this whole point. I don't even give a shit no
We
more.
don't work like that, mate. Like we have to go step by step.
Okay,
Okay.
you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Real quick, just let
I'm,
me
I'm not
finish, and then you can go to conclusions if you
because I'm about
wish,
to
if you
tell you.
want.
I'm about to tell you. I'm not going to the conclusions because I'm about to just give you something, but like, okay, so I agree that wherever Obito was at is inaccessible to, I guess, Kaguya's dimension, and that he was only able to travel there from because of his Kamui.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna agree with what was that other shit you said? You know what? That's the only thing I'll agree with. All right, are you ready to keep on spelling?
So you agree with the fact that the distance Obito traveled was inaccessible?
Yeah, I agree. I
Okay.
agree that he
Okay.
traveled is
Then
inaccessible.
so yeah, he was able to travel that
Um,
distance quite easily, right? But then prior to that, with even more chakra, he was unable to traverse the distance between. He was able to traverse the distance to Kage's dimension, indicating how vast the dimension was, right? He's even bleeding in the eye and everything, right? It's indicating that Kage's dimension is bigger than the inaccessible distance that he traversed. So, do you agree to that?
That Kaguya's dimension is even greater to
And the distance
wait.
he traveled, as this is quite difficult for him, even though he was
But that
was
that
able to do
that's
it.
the exact same. That's the exact same dimension that he's already connected to, even when he was in the verge of death, even when he wasn't in the verge of death. So I don't know where's the difference.
Okay, look, the fact that he was on the verge of death just helps my argument, right? He was literally on the verge of that of death because he was trying to friggin' connect to this damn space, right?
Mm,
And he talks about how big
I
this
would
shit
say
is.
that he was
But
on the
even
verge of
after that,
death because
less chakra. No, real quick, let me finish. Even after that, with less chakra, right? He's able to revert this inaccessible distance. Like that's a crazy feat. That's a crazy feat. So yeah, this would indicate that that Kage dimension is actually bigger than that inaccessible distance that he was able to easily traverse.
no, it. Okay, dude. Oh my God.
Look,
Okay,
I'm
so
fine
hold on.
to conclusions if you
Huh?
wish. I'm
What
fine to go to conclusions. I'm fine to go to conclusions if you wish. We can
about
let the
something
judge
that you never let me attack?
come again. I can't hear you, mate.
About something that you never let me attack? Like, and you're making me
Oh
lose
no,
my train of thought. I'm trying to
I feel like I've
rebuttal, and then
already.
you come to
Okay, go ahead. Like
conclusion.
I feel like I've already explained this time and time again, and you've given your contentions to it. But yeah,
okay,
please attack.
so can I let me double clarify. So Shonen, I'm not Shonen. Amaterasu, so your argument is okay. So um, basically, the distance between life and death is inaccessible. Shonen agreed to that part. And
No, no, no.
then you're
I didn't
Obviously,
agree.
successful distance.
I
He
agree.
that
I
too.
agree. Duh, 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 duh. I agree that wherever Obito is at, which I don't think that he's already traveled to the death realm or whatever y'all we're gonna call it here. But wherever he was inaccessible to Kaguya's dimension. That's what I would say. But I want to say that he already had met death,
um,
and
hi-
that's
his
uh,
argument was like the living world in general. So like any world where like is like has like life. So like Kagi's world would be considered like um a place that is like life, right? And then like if you were to die, he'd have to travel to the place that is quote unquote death. Like so it'd be any place that isn't death is life, right? And then he's saying that like so it doesn't matter if you agree it's Kage's dimension, Naruto's dimension, right? Just life in general is just gonna be an inaccessible distance. Did you not agree to that part or are you just
that's fine. I'm gonna just let him. I'm gonna just let it because honestly, I'm just trying to progress now. So what now? Am
okay.
I talking? What was the next thing you said?
All right. So we've come to the conclusion that Kage's dimensions are bigger than this inaccessible distance that he was able to traverse.
Okay, the inaccessible distance that he traversed in the first place was Kaguya's dimension. So are you going to say Kaguya's dimensions was bigger than the other Kaguya's
No,
dimension that he was
no, no,
inaccessible
no.
to?
The inaccessible distance he was able to traverse was to Kakashi's mind in the real world.
The inaccessible. Okay, you see, you didn't ever clarify that.
Yeah, not to Kage's dimension.
You never like. this shit is how is this like, bruh? Okay, so how are you gonna? Okay, first of all, I'm a little bit annoyed at that because I gave you a point on something that you never actually clarified that would have changed everything. But all right, so just what do you? Okay, you know what, nigga.
bro.
All right, so Obito's fine. You can have that. Go on, keep going. Just go ahead, bro.
All right.
Like, what the
So do you agree with the fact that Kage's dimension is bigger than that inaccessible distance?
Kaguya's dimension is bigger than no because he was able to access both the dimension, I guess, in Kakashi's brain and in Kaguya's space time. So how do you approximate and say one was harder or more in distance than the other one?
Come again?
Okay, so he was easily, I mean, not easily. I'm not gonna say easily, but he was able to connect to Kakashi's, I guess, brain realm wherever his mind resides, and
Mental.
Kaguya's dimension. Yeah, yeah. So how do you say that one was, I guess,
So
more in distance than the other?
the mental plane doesn't exist in like the in Kage's dimension, right? It's not like something. It's not like it's overlapping on Kage's dimension because that's where
Okay,
he is.
obviously, somehow Kakashi's mind must have some kind of like his realm or whatever must have some kind of space time fabric. If the Kamui specifically opens space time portals to other space times, so like
What?
I don't. So I would say whatever Kakashi's brain realm is or mind mental state is somehow made up of the fabrics of space time, just like Kaguya. If Obito is able to connect via space time traveling,
So what's
so
the
I
point
don't
here?
see.
Am I
So I
missing
don't
something?
see how the mental dimension of Kakashi's mental brains or whatever and Kaguya's dimensions are different, I guess, in distance.
They aren't the same. It's obvious. It's like what? They aren't the same dimension. It's like Venus and
Oh,
Mars. They're two different
I'm saying
friggin' planets.
how is it different? They're the same. They're the same. They're the space. As long as
Because
Obito is able to open up a space time
because
portal, then he can access.
dimension, that
Uh,
means they are in the same place.
what?
You believe that because Kakashi is in Kage dimension that they are in the same place.
No, I believe because Obito used the Kamui, which is space time portal traveling to other space times that Kakashi's brain or wherever his mental shit resides is also made up of the fabrics of space and time, the exact
And why?
same as Kaguya's dimensions. Please listen. Like
Okay.
I said, because Obito uses the Kamui, which is space time traveling, that opens
Mhm.
portals to different space times, or I guess not. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you use the Kamui to get to which you when you send me the picture and you relook at it, it shows Obito using the Kamui to get to Kakashi's brain.
Mhm.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, oh, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna have to go into that because I think this is enough. Unless you answer this, so go ahead. Well, whatever you gotta say, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I don't understand your point. I feel like I don't believe that just because it's a space time mean jutsu that's gonna
It must
change
be because
anything.
it
What's your
no,
point
no, no.
exactly? Where's the
I'm
defeater?
saying I'm saying the defeater is that the fabrics that make up Kakashi's mental brains resides is space times just like Kaguya's space times, and it doesn't prove that they're any different in distances because the Kamui just grants you the access of teleporting via or opening space time portals to different space times. So
Mhm.
therefore, Kakashi, wherever his mental brain resides, whatever the fuck, in Kaguya's dimension, they should be the exact same distance. In fact, I don't see where it would be different. In fact, it would make sense that wherever Kakashi is residing, wherever he talks to Obito is inside of a realm where the fabrics are made up of space and time, considering Kakashi and Obito shared the Kamui, and I guess they would be able to connect and talk to each other via the Kamui, via space time, even in death, because that's just how chakra works.
Do you believe that uh Kakashi's mental plane is inside his brain, like physically inside his brain?
I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that what I said about Obito's Kamui and the space time portals and that Kakashi's wherever he resides has to be made up of
Because
another fabrics of space and time. Maybe it's literally like it could literally be the connection between the Kamui from Kakashi's eye to the connection of Obito's Sharingan Kamui. So that's exactly why I was saying, like, I don't exactly think Obito has entered death itself or any realm of death. I think like his spirit went somewhere and like he just connected it with Kakashi and but not from life or death, not not a different distance. It's just that they were able to connect to each other via the same time space that they're both accessible to.
Hmm. So essentially, your argument sort of presupposes that the mental plane exists in Kashi's brain, and seeing as he's in a certain dimension, that mental plane is also contained within that dimension. That's sort of what your argument is.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's I am just saying Kakashi's mental, whatever the fuck realm he spoke to Obito resides inside of his actual brain in the physical world. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that whichever realm that they were in, it's made up of space and time, the exact same how Kaguya's dimensions are made up of space and time. And we know this because Obito had to use the Kamui to travel, and we know the Kamui travels space and time. Therefore, if Kakashi's wherever mental brain resides at, its fabric is made up of space and time, the exact same as Kaguya's. It wouldn't be any different. It would be the exact same as opening his Kamui portal to this place, his Kamui portal to that place. It doesn't matter because it's
Yeah, I
space
feel like
time.
I feel
Travel.
like that just I feel like just because space time doesn't have a certain size. I feel like that's just because
Yeah, I'm not presupposing a certain size either. You're the one
let me-
that's claiming there's a
yo
certain size.
yo let me finish real quick. Right, I feel like that's an association fallacy. Just because they're both space time doesn't mean that they are the same size or they are in the same coordinates or in the same position, because that's sort of what your argument is at this point. I don't feel like
No,
that changes anything, to be
not,
honest.
not because hold on, because you're saying that I'm saying that they're in the same coordinates. I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they aren't or are in different distances. I'm saying that Obito doesn't have to travel a particular amount of distance. He doesn't. It doesn't like as long as it has to do with space time. He's able to travel anywhere. It's not like
Yeah, we know that's contradicted. See, in the second scan I sent, that he literally states that it's a vast space time and
and
it's really
and
difficult for him
because
to do it.
and because it's
Look,
hold on.
look, finish. It's been his dimension has been stated to be a space time, right? And he has space time ninjutsu, but he still finds it difficult to traverse this space or to connect the space, however you want to say it. And he talks about, oh, it's due to its size, right? So yeah, just because he has space time ninjutsu
It's
doesn't mean it's
it's
gonna be
fine.
easy.
It's fine.
It's
Hold
gonna.
on. Hold on.
I'm
But
gonna finish,
it's
please.
fine.
I'm gonna finish,
Okay.
right?
It's
Because he
just
has.
that you say too much, and then when it's my turn, I have too much to go over. But go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not going to require his energy. As we see, that is not the case. It
This
requires his
debate
energy,
is dookie.
the size of it is incredibly important. So yeah, MK, if you want to explain his argument, because I don't get where the defeater is. There is none, as far as I can see. You can explain it, please.
Okay.
Okay, wait,
You
hold on, bro. I've been talking the whole time, bro. No one has fucking heard me, bro. That's crazy. But
We're not
like,
talking.
bro, okay, I was muted. But okay, so Shonen's basically arguing because like what you're trying to say, Amaterasu, is just like the reason why even if you go outside of like the universe that you won't be able to access this place is because like it's like some sort of like immaterial place that doesn't really occupy real space, right? So even if you were to traverse a bunch of space, you'd never reach it, right? Because it doesn't technically have physical space. That's what you're trying to say. It's like some immaterial mental plane, right?
What the heck?
Whoa.
Who the heck is that?
But like that's basically your argument, right, Shonen? Not Shonen, Amaterasu.
Hey, yes. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying to contradict that is just like he's saying that the distance between like life and death isn't inaccessible from each other because the Kamui is a space-time technique, right? Sort of giving like an implication that because it's space-time, then it's not going to be like an immaterial place that's inaccessible from the physical because like space and time are by definition physical things. That's what it seemed like he was arguing from my perspective, and then like his other argument was just like, oh, since their eyes are like sort of interconnected, right? That could sort of make it easier for him to get to Kakashi's mind and stuff because they're like sort of interlinked via their eyes.
Yeah, I just got back.
But
I
yeah,
didn't really get to
like,
what you said,
like if he's gonna
but
argue that, you're gonna argue that it's intellect because of their eyes. The eye had nothing to do with it. I'm not even sure if Kakashi had his eye then, but uh, the eye has nothing to do with it. He goes to Kakashi's mental plane. The mental plane has nothing to do with his Sharingan. So I feel like that doesn't make any sense. And the second point, I already spoke about how space time, regardless of whether it's space or time, it actually matters, or the distance matters, and what you're traversing or controlling or sucking into your space-time with Kamui, if it's Kamui, right, it's going to matter, right? There's even a data book that states, oh yeah, the size, well, depending on the size, proportion of chakras and blah 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 stuff. But yeah, the distance and size of whatever you're taking in or absorbing or traversing really does matter, whether it's space or
I'm
space
trust
and
you. I don't.
whether
I
it's
don't.
space-time
I don't
or
think
not.
that point. I don't think that part of your argument was a point of contention from Sheldon. So I like that. I don't think that was what he was. Like I feel
my
like you're
thing,
bringing up the wrong thing.
Yeah,
But okay.
look, Shoni,
yeah,
can you
I
explain your
also
point quite elaborately? Because I'm
I
not
can explain
understanding.
it one more time, but I think I put it in like very simple terms. I didn't get to hear what MK just said because for some reason my fucking dogs just got in a fight. But when I got back, it sounded like he was hitting the nail exactly what I was trying to explain. Hold on, first let me catch my breath because he motherfuckers big. Okay, so basically, I'm saying that fucking shit, bro. These dogs again, bro. Give me like 1 second, bro. I'm sorry.
So, how's everyone's day?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Bro, I'm outside right now. My hands are like so cold they could fall off, bro. Yo, creative is going crazy. Amaterasu, me personally, I wouldn't take that. He literally
Take
called you Yogu to Shonen Sakuna. You gotta get your
okay.
head back.
Just for him making that comparison, watch Sukuna, watch friggin' Gojo come
Okay.
back next chapter.
Okay, I don't even feel like re-explaining this, but okay, I don't know what's hard to understand, right? Because what I'm saying is that there's not really a distance. It's not about a distance because the exact same the exact same thing that it takes for him to travel to Kakashi's space time, whatever the fuck, mental brain, wherever the fuck he's at, is the exact same what it takes him to get to Kaguya's dimensions. Hold on, bro. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to get up.
Yeah, which is
And
physically.
which is what?
Which is physically.
Okay, I don't see the other one. And what was I saying, bro? Bro, I lost my whole train of thought with these fucking stupid ass dogs. And then
Well, if you want me to reiterate, if you want me to reiterate what I was saying to about your position to Amaterasu, maybe that might remind you, or if you want, I don't.
like, I know what I said. It's just like I just don't feel like repeating it, to be honest. Because I think I repeated it twice before I even took off. But go ahead, MK, because I'm pretty sure you said the exact same thing I said already.
Yeah. So, Jonan was just arguing that the distance between life and death isn't because yeah. So you were basically trying to say it's some like immaterial place, right? Non-physical. You can't reach it by like just like going through the physical. You can't use the physical to reach the non-physical, right? And it's sort of like a mental immaterial plane. And then like Shonen kind of was responding uh, as sort of a counter argument to the non-physical part and saying that like since the Kamui is a space time technique and space time being something that's like physical by definition, that sort of gives the implication that it's not some immaterial place that's inaccessible to the physical because it's used the physical thing or the technique that operates on the physical is being used to like get there. And then like his other part of the argument was saying that it just like sort of might just be the case that it's easier for him to access Kakashi's mental plane, considering that their eyes are like linked, like they're interlinked, right? Obito and Kakashi are interlinked um, via their eyes and stuff. That was it.
Yeah. So what do you got to say about that, Amaterasu?
Yeah, and I'm saying that's why it's a crazy feat because there isn't some physical distance. That's why it literally matters. That's literally why I'm arguing it.
Okay, so you're
I'm
saying,
confused.
yeah,
Like
me too.
because there isn't some physical distance and he's still able to traverse it with this physical ability. That's why the
Bro, but
feat
like,
matters.
but like,
I'm
I'm
saying,
confused. Like, you're saying like, by the way, this isn't me arguing or anything. I'm genuinely confused because you're saying it's like, it's he's traveling a non-physical distance.
He's physically traveling a non-physical distance.
If
He's
wow,
traversing an untraversable distance. Does that make more sense?
like, is this like a logical argument or some shit? Like,
No. Come on.
come on,
well,
bro.
no,
Like,
like from what you just said, I mean, it's easy to point out the contradiction there.
Like
He's
it's
physically
sort of
traveling
like
non-physical place.
it's not, but it's sort of like it sort of goes with the same metric as immeasurable speed, or how maybe you define it as friggin' inaccessible speed. Traveling so fast you get there yesterday, right? It's something that doesn't happen. It's impossible, and that's why it's a crazy feat. It's the same with this.
So, so are you? Well, you said you want.
Honestly, don't know why we're friggin' backtracking. We've already agreed to the fact that road traverse an inaccessible distance. Now we're friggin' combating the fact that it is an inaccessible distance.
No, no,
Why is everyone's mic lagging, by the way? Is it me? No, man. Network is 3 bars.
I never even got to this point. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you would have just listened to my argument, okay. So I'm gonna just restate this. Just what is your rebuttal to what MK just explained? Because that's what I like. What is your rebuttal to that? Is it just that? Oh, that's an amazing feat. Like, or like, what are you talking about?
Life and death aren't physical, right? Physically, the distance between life and death is inaccessible. But with this
Okay,
physical ability, he's able to traverse that distance, which is inaccessible. But
it's
then he's
because
incapable of
it's because
traversing Kaguya's dimensions.
it's because he wasn't actually dead, and like I was
I
saying, and that it's not actually inaccessible, and
Real quick,
that
allow me to cut you off real quick. Allow me to cut you off real quick. You said he's not already dead. That's why I dropped the third scan that literally says chakras, the energy that connects two worlds. He's literally seeing Rin, who is dead, right? So she's literally in the
it can
afterlife. She's
it,
been
it
there
can
for like
it can
what,
just be, it can
20
just be
years? Like 20 years, or else you want to say, oh, she's been chilling in like the world between life and death for like 20 years waiting for friggin' Obito. This is literally
yeah,
the
that
afterlife.
very
When
that I mean,
so you're making the argument that she's been chilling.
can you
I'm not even
can you
paying
chill?
attention to
Can you
that.
chill?
Anyway, yeah,
Because I'm
he's
not making
literally
the arguments that you're trying to portray.
he's
Like
literally
I'm
in a
saying,
different
it
wait,
world.
does.
pause. I don't want to cut you guys off, but where the hell is Alex? Isn't he supposed to be one of the judges?
I don't know, mate. Text him. I
And
don't know. But yeah, we
man's
see that
left
he
me to deal with this shit.
connects two worlds, indicating he's already in the next one, and then he literally goes back. He traverses.
But
It's
saying
not
he's in the
something of I can. He does it. We see him do it, right? And you already agreed to this in the past. I don't know why we're still talking about it.
no, I don't know why this was. Look, bro, like oh my god,
God
I
damn
was
it!
I feel like
arguing.
I feel like we're kind of in a dilemma because
Already
Yeah,
like
6.
at the
I
same
don't.
time there's a big my bad. Keep going.
It's just okay. Amaterasu, you started to argue that the distance from wherever the fuck Obito's at to Kaguya's dimension, vast time space or whatever, is a lot
This is
greater, a lot
distance.
greater than the distance between him and where Kakashi met in his mental, where his mental brain resided.
The
Right?
distance between life
That's
and
what you
death.
were arguing.
No, the distance between life and death.
My nigga, when you
My
say
nigga.
life and death, you're talking about brain Kakashi's where him and Obito meet and talk after Obito quote unquote goes on to the next world or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he does go on to the. He does
Yeah, yeah.
friggin'
So you were
yeah.
arguing that. Hold on, stop, please. You were arguing that Kaguya, the distance it takes to get to Kaguya's space time is a lot greater than what it takes for him to get to Kakashi. Okay, that's what you were arguing, and I was arguing that no, it's about the exact same, or it doesn't really matter about a distance or not because first of all, Kakashi was not only like in the verge of dying when it came to Kaguya, so you can't really approximate just how much it really was in terms of distance. And he's still able to access both Kakashi's mental brain or wherever the resides and Kaguya's dimensions, and that
Wait, who was
and
it?
the reason please stop, I'm almost done. And the reason why he could reach Kakashi was by using the Kamui, which is a space time portal, which would entail that wherever Kakashi's mental brain resides is also made up of the fabrics of space and time. Most likely going to be because his eye, which also has access to space and time, is the exact same one that Obito has as Kamui, which is why they were able to meet inside some kind of realm that's made up of the fabrics of space and time. It doesn't entail that it's any different from traveling to Kaguya's dimensions in terms of distance. Do you get what I'm saying now?
I get what you're saying. So you said
I
the
think I
mental plane.
understand both your guys' positions, but
So you said the mental plane
And,
is
and that's all
space
I have to
time,
say. If
right?
you're ready, huh?
You say he's using a space time ability to traverse to go to the mental plane, which is space time, which means continue.
Which means what? I finished what I needed to say.
Yeah,
Which
'cause I
means that
don't I
it's
don't
not
know for sure about
any
you,
different from
right?
traveling
It
to
means
any other.
distance wouldn't matter because he's using a space time continuum to go to a space time, or he's using a space time ninjutsu to go to a space time. You believe that the distance wouldn't matter because of that?
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, bro. If you think you proved
I'm
your point, I think I
this
I'm
proved
is
mine.
asking
this is
I'm
circular,
ready.
so you guys gotta just like please like anything you guys want to add in, like any new like shit, like
because like
I'm good.
it's like there's been 4 arguments he's been switching with, right? There's the one
No,
of
it's
there's
not
the
for
one of
argument. It's all the same one, and they're all just like it's all just extra detail that backs up a specific reason. Like just saying how Obito is linking to Kakashi has to do with the fact that it's still the exact same as linking to Kaguya's dimension. Therefore, it's not.
it's fine. You don't gotta repeat yourself. It's
All
fine.
right,
I
yeah.
understand both of your guys' positions. You guys don't have to repeat yourselves.
all right, bro. You know what? You're right, bro. You know what? Just whoever we can go to conclusions. Whoever won that. I don't. You know.
Okay. Would you guys feel more comfortable just giving your conclusions?
Go ahead.
Fuck, I just repeated my whole shit. But go ahead. I'm listening because I just repeated myself.
And if you guys don't want conclusions, I can just give what I think.
I think merely because I just fucking explained it right now, I don't think I have to remind y'all again, like you just said. So,
I didn't forget, but
if you want to give a conclusion, let's go.
my bad. It's kind of a little bit windy out here. I didn't hear what you said.
I was just telling Amaterasu if you want to conclude, then he could go ahead.
Amaterasu, do you not want to conclude, or do you just want me to say what I think? Like what you guys?
Anyway, okay. I can conclude if you want, right? So prior to this, let's actually go in situation A, right? Obito has some level of chakra. He's unable to traverse Kage's, or yeah, he's unable to connect Kage's dimensions, and talks about the fact that it's big. It's too big for him to connect to, or it's too big and it makes it incredibly difficult for him to connect to. Right? He has more chakra at this point. When he dies, he goes to the next world. As it states, chakra is the energy that connects two worlds, indicating he's already in the next world. Then he's able to literally go back. He's able to traverse this distance with a physical ability. He's able to traverse this distance that's physically inaccessible. And prior to this, with more chakra, he was unable to traverse Kage's dimension, talking about how big it is, indicating that Kage's dimension is bigger than this inaccessible distance he was easily able to traverse after that, or rather after trying to traverse Kage's distance.
Okay, Shonen, do you want to give your conclusion?
Um, sure. So basically, Amaterasu was trying to compare the differences between locating and traveling between Kaguya's dimensions and wherever Kakashi's mental brains resided, or wherever they spoke when Obito quote unquote went into the other world. And I'm just saying that the exact same thing that it took for him to get to Kaguya's dimension is the exact same thing it's going to take for him to get to Kakashi's dimension because um, the fact that he used the Kamui to get there, a space time portal that opens up portals to different space times. Therefore, meaning that Kakashi's realm, wherever it resides, is made up of the fabrics of space and time, the exact same as Kaguya's, and they're just gonna he's just gonna travel to the exact same there's no distance and there's no he never explains where there is a distance or a difference in distance. I don't even see where it's different at all from him traveling to one part or the other part. That's all I see. Him opening a space time portal to one spot, the exact same way to another spot. But yeah, that's my conclusion.
Okay. All right. So what I'm getting from this is Amaterasu, you started off the argument saying that Obito traversed the distance between life and death, and basically that's an inaccessible distance. But he couldn't traverse the distance of Kaguya's dimension, implying that Kaguya's dimension is bigger. And in Shonen, you're basically trying to assert that the opposite of that. You're trying to say that it wasn't an accessible distance. You're basically saying that he wasn't using travel speed to get to the other dimensions initially, um, and he was essentially just using like a wormhole to get there. And Amaterasu, your rebuttal there was just like sort of saying that that argument was irrelevant because like the jutsu, right, the distance that the jutsu is used to travel is directly correlated with like the quantity of chakra, and then that life and death has like an accessible distance between it, because like no matter how far you go, right, even out the universe, you'll never reach like sort of a mental plane because it's like immaterial. And then Shonen, you eventually had agreed to that, right? And then like originally I wasn't gonna let Shonen like hedge on that, but like then Amaterasu, you kind of like entertained it, so you kind of let him, and so there was sort of a dilemma of like Shonen initially agreeing to it, and then just like sort of going back and like giving an argument, and then so I just decided to go with like um just giving Shonen the chance to just give an actual argument against it rather than accepting it just because you entertained it, Amaterasu, and then so basically his other argument was that the distance between life and death isn't inaccessible from the plane of from each other just because the Kamui is a space-time technique, giving an implication that it's not some immaterial inaccessible place that can't be reached from the physical, and that it could just be the case that it's easier to get to Kakashi's mental plane, considering that both of their eyes um, sort of are like make them interlinked with each other, right? They both have one of each showing on that sort of makes them connected. So it could be the case that it's easier for him to get to that mental plane via that. And then like sort of here's the kicker that like with what you were saying, Amaterasu, you I feel like you kind of didn't really go at the whole fact that like your argument seemingly was a contradiction and Shonen pointed that out. And then like it just honestly you never resolved the contradiction.
What
Um
freaking contradiction?
yeah, because you said that he was physically traveling the non-physical, like by definition. And then like the whole thing and the problem is that why that just I it makes no sense to me is because you're saying, okay, the physical cannot reach the non-physical, so it's inaccessible distance from life and death. But Obito uses the physical to travel the non-physical, and then like it just seems like sort of like a paradoxical incoherent sort of
What he
argument,
knows
and then like
is
your
not.
real quick, and then like your sort of response to that instead of like resolving it, right, you're just like, oh, that's what makes it impressive, right, like that's what makes it impressive, and I was like, okay, it's not really a resolution to the contradiction, you gotta do better than that. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Look at this nigga Numu, bro. He made this like meme where it's me as Sukuna and Maharaga is you, MK, and Destruction is the other fucking summoning this nigga Megami God. This nigga New Moon of a Glazer. You fucking gay
I
fuck.
honestly, I'm gonna be at 100%. I think Amaterasu was blatantly winning in the beginning, and then like Shonen sort of like turned up towards the end. And then like I probably just give it to Shonen just based off of like Amaterasu. You just had like lack of consideration of like the seemingly contradictory nature of your argument.
Do you understand? Do you understand what? Do you understand what meta miracle manipulation is?
That's a whole nother point, whole nother conversation, my
No,
friend.
you understand?
That's
Like
why
you kind of
like I asked
saying
you, like Ray, that's why I
Yeah.
asked you, like, is
meta
this some like
miracle.
illogical,
It's not.
impossible
It's not.
argument?
It's
And
similar, but
also,
it's not.
I'm sorry.
And I
Okay,
relate.
I was. All right, you know what? Go ahead,
I relate
Amaterasu.
to running so fast you go in the past.
Yeah, but that's not a contradiction though. That's the issue. Like,
How is that a contradiction? How is that a contradiction?
no, I said it's not a going in the past is not a contradiction. Like, it's literally theoretically possible. So that's why I didn't understand when you just said, "Oh, it's impressive." It's sort of like going back in the past, right? A day before.
You're
And
saying
I was like, I
so
don't know how
essentially,
that is
you believe my
reconciled to
argument is
contradiction.
contradictory. Even okay, so this happens, we see it happen, right? But you believe my argument is contradictory because I make the argument that he's able to traverse this inaccessible distance physically, even though physically it should be inaccessible.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like you're just arguing against yourself
Why is that
partially.
contradictory?
Yeah, because you're saying that it's inaccessible, meaning like you know inaccessible, like it means it cannot be accessed via certain means, and then you're just like
Hold on.
sort
I'm
of
sorry.
showing.
MK, sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry. I want to talk for a second. First of
Okay.
all, Amaterasu, because everybody's saying that, I gave Amaterasu a point and now I tried to attack it. First of all, Amaterasu made a certain point and I told him exactly what I agreed on. And then he tried to make the comparison between the distance between Kakashi's dimension and Kaguya's dimension. So stop acting like he didn't bring up a new point that I then attacked after that. So if y'all motherfuckers didn't listen, that's on y'all motherfuckers. But this nigga brought up a different point
But
after I said that certain point.
what you agreed to, right, was that the distance between life and death is
Not
not what you
that.
agreed to
Oh,
was that.
you see that?
Well,
I never said that.
guys, look, I already
What you
covered
agreed
this in
to
my
was that
conclusion.
Obito traversed an inaccessible distance. Because after every point, I literally ask, "Do you understand this? Do you
Then
agree to
why
this?"
then why do you make a comparison and say that Kaguya's dimension is greater in distance because
Because, you
Obito
already
struggled to touch it.
okay. Now let me finish. Because you already agreed that he traversed this inaccessible distance, and despite traveling this inaccessible distance, was unable to traverse Kaguya's dimension. He had already traveled an inaccessible distance. Then he's unable to travel Kaguya's dimension, which by definition would mean that Kaguya's friggin' dimension is bigger. It's quite simple. That's all I said.
That's the
I
part.
think
That's
the
the part
argument
that I
was like I
like.
think the argument was simple until you like sort of threw in like the whole like contradiction. So, but
What contradiction? There was never any. The argument was the same from the beginning to the end.
let me say this right. So it's just like you're saying, okay, so it's an inaccessible distance, meaning like it's just so great that it just can't be accessed through physical means, and then like basically you say like he's physically accessing the the non-physical, and then like then that sort of goes back on your definition for inaccessible because now it's accessible via physical means. And I don't really see honestly, even with the whole eye point that Shona made, I don't even know how you responded to that, to be honest. If you can remind me like how you responded to the point of say Shonen saying that it's probably easier to just
Just
access
because
the
he has a
dimension
Sharingan,
because their
I
eyes are.
said that the mental plane has nothing to do with the Sharingan. Just because he has a Sharingan doesn't mean there's going to be any correlation whatsoever. That's what I said.
But that's not. That's not argument. That's not an argument though. You're just saying like, oh, it has no like
He
correlation. You gave no
made it
reasoning for that. Like,
without evidence, and I counted it without evidence.
what happened?
He made an assertion without evidence, and I counted it without evidence. Not like I needed any evidence for my point.
Well, he
I
was
really
asserting he was asserting just like a possibility though. Like he was just saying like, oh, it could be the case that it's
Oh my
easier
god.
if they're like linked. While like you were saying like, oh, no,
you
the
know,
reason
fine.
why that's not the case is because they have nothing correlated. I don't really
Let's move
think
on.
that like argues against the possibility though. That's
Let's,
my
let's,
thing. At least.
let us continue, Michael. It's fine. I don't see how he got this point, but shit, it's whatever, right?
I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I ran your guys' arguments down
Look,
from the beginning. I even
It's
I
whatever.
even pointed out how I thought Shonen was hedging at one point, but since you entertained it, then like you kind of let him do that.
to me, he brought up a point, and
Look, it's fine. It's fine. We can forget where he agreed to everything, but it's
I
fine.
also do want to ask, like,
You can go ahead and
if you
continue.
guys want to run a poll, you guys could also run a poll if that's what you both want.
I don't want to run a poll because I know exactly what happened, and I know what point I gave you, and it wasn't even what you're saying, Amaterasu, because I never agreed that Obito is in a plane of death in the first place. But
Look,
one thing that what I was hold on, stop, please. What I was arguing about was the distance between Kaguya's dimensions and the dimension where Kakashi's mental brains reside is no different, which is the point that you brought up. That's where I started attacking that.
mhm.
So like that's never a point that I ever conceded. I never conceded that Kaguya's dimensions is greater in distance than what it took Obito to meet Kakashi.
And that means
Shonen, I will
That's
say, Shonen, real quick, I will say that you did the part that you did grant.
MK. That means absolutely nothing. The entire scale lies in the fact that Obito traverses that inaccessible distance. That's where the
I'm
entire
not
scale
even gonna
lies,
lie,
and
bro.
that's what you
I'm not
agreed to.
even judging off of what Shonen just
Yeah,
said.
Bro. I'm replying to him. You can talk after, right? The entire
Okay.
scale lies on the fact that he was able to traverse that inaccessible distance, and you already agreed to that. It was raps from there, right? But somehow MK said it
but
was a contradiction. So like, I'm fine, right? We can continue. It's all right.
wait. I don't want you like thinking that like I did something like.
I'm not
Okay, look.
saying
So
that. It's
I
fine.
actually think
We
Shonen,
all have
what
different.
Shonen granted specifically was that the place that Obito reached was an inaccessible distance. That's what I heard, like from Shonen, right? That specific part, right, was an inaccessible distance, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he
And then
said
I
he
do
was.
think real quick, can I please finish? Can I please finish?
Go
And I
ahead.
do think, right, Shonen, don't jump at me for this, but like I do think Shonen did go back on it, and then sort of try to take it back and then argue for it, right? But then instead of you being like, oh, you're hedging or like you're special pleading, you're going back on your word or what you agreed to, you
I feel like
entertained it for like
shit. It's like
10
I had
minutes
pull
on
one.
end, bro.
It's like
And then there were
it's like
all these arguments
I'm like,
that
oh
I
yeah,
thought defeated
we
your
already left.
position.
Let's not go back. I feel like that's a bitch move.
Huh?
I feel like that's a bitch move, and that's not something I would do.
Amaterasu, just tell me where this scale was leading to, bro, and I might just give you the point.
That's not how it works, mate.
But how is
Anyway,
that a bitch move?
Let me tell you
It's
something,
like bro,
Amaterasu.
it's like if somebody makes a claim, bro, and then you don't attack it, right? Like initially, then that claim is just gonna go through, just like how you dismiss Shonen's claim, right? Because he had no evidence, right? If it's not attacked, if it's not addressed, then it's gonna go through. The fact that Shonen hedged, right? And I think he did, right? And then you didn't immediately call him out for it, right? And then he brought up later arguments that I thought defeated your position. I feel like it would just be unfair to just suddenly, after you let him make all these arguments that I think defeated your position, then to just say that, like, okay, none of these matter because he agreed to it initially. I feel like it's really ratty to just sort of hinge on the fact that he agreed to it as to, like, sort of finesse an easy win rather than just attacking his arguments and beating him like that. That's what, at least what
Shonen
I
never
think.
called it a contradiction, right? That was you. Shonen never called it a contradiction, and it's fine, right?
No, I
I'm
call the
saying like the
contradiction.
fifth, seventh time. It's okay. I do not mind. It's all right
Okay,
if you.
okay,
That's how you
Amaterasu.
is.
Bro,
Amaterasu.
but like you can't say it's okay, it's fine, and then throw in that like what I'm doing is a bitch move. Like
Never
you,
said no. I
you
said what you are doing is a bitch move. I said what if I was like, oh yeah, let's just go forward. Let's just go forward. You're going back. You're going back. I don't like that. I wouldn't do that. I feel like it's a bitch move for myself to just say, oh yeah, we already left that. Let's go. So yeah,
okay.
that's
All right,
fine.
so are we gonna move on to this? Because I have to find out where you were trying to scale. Because if you lost this point, then you can't try that again. You can't try that like wherever you're trying to scale. So, and which you never told us in the first place.
Mhm.
So what were you trying to do here?
But let's just continue though, because there seems no issue. If Amaterasu, you're not tripping about it, I'm glad. Then we can just keep moving on. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, it could have been easier by Shonen just granting. He probably would have agreed to your scaling initially, Shonen and Amaterasu. But all right, yeah, keep going.
Mhm.
So can you just tell me where you're trying to scale right now? Because like you didn't tell us.
You understand what? Okay, no, that's just extra. It could be low multiversal to multiversal depending on how you have it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and continue now.
Okay. So what are you gonna tell now?
It's stated right there that teleportation ninjutsu surpasses the concept of space and distance.
Are you
Yes.
scaling AP still or Steve?
Come again? What? It's
Are
still
you still
AP.
scaling? Okay, let me see the scans.
It stated right there that ninjutsu or friggin' teleportation ninjutsu, it says space-time ninjutsu surpasses the concept of space and distance, right? You understand that?
Okay.
Okay. So right there, it shows right there that Obito was incapable of traversing Kage's dimension, regardless of the ability he has surpassing the concept of space and distance.
But we argued this already, and I told you that Obito did have
No, no,
access
no.
to Kaguya space time.
You said what?
I said that Obito does have access to Kaguya space time. He's able to open it. He's able to open. He's able to access Kaguya space
I
time.
don't think you understand what I mean by inaccessible. This is in the past, right? But by inaccessible, I'm not saying he cannot access it. I'm talking about the distance. Asked you, do you understand what the inaccessible cardinal is? You said yes.
Bro, you're saying that Obito couldn't open a portal to Kaguya
That's
space time. I'm saying yes, he could.
I'm not saying it was impossible. I'm saying he found it incredibly
No.
difficult.
Okay, so you're saying he still opened up space time portals to Kaguya space time. You agree to that?
Say that again, my guy. You're lagging.
You agree Obito could access Kaguya space time.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
He
carry
did
on.
that. He just found it incredibly difficult. Anyway, yeah. So
Because he was
this time
completely
Ninja 2, which the Kamui falls on, is easily able to it surpasses the concept of space and distance. Do you know where
Is this not referring to
do you know where the concept of space would scale?
the concepts of space and time? I think that'd be like universal because it's like just a fabric dimensional part.
Concept of space, not just space. Concept of space, all of space.
Yeah, I don't agree that this surpasses the concepts of all space and time and existence. And even if it did, like if you're only capable of proving a certain amount of space existing, then that's the amount of space that he's able to, I guess, surpass in terms of concepts.
Okay, so you're gonna make it incredibly hard for everyone because if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to talk about the Samsara scale, which I really don't want to.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like you're gonna try to say like, oh, all space in terms of all space, even the shit that resides out of where we don't fucking know, like no. But we're talking about it surpasses the concept of space and time in terms of how. Which, by the way, I think this was referring to the Flying Raijin, no? Or was it the Kamui?
No, it's space freaking space time ninjutsu in general.
Teleportation ninjutsu.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, it's there to surpass the concept of space and distance. We already understand and know that dimensionality exists in the Narutoverse. Seeing as Shibai, the very famous character, has transcended into a higher dimension, we already know that the concept of dimensionality exists within the verse. And seeing as it refers to the concept of space, the concept of space it would refer to the concept in its entirety and not just what we've seen, which is 3 dimensions or 4 dimensions, right?
No, it's
So
gonna report
it would
to.
refer to the concept of
Where do you make
space
that link?
entirely.
Oh my god.
Again,
Hold on, bro.
it would refer to the concept of space
Hold on,
entirely, which
Amaterasu.
is
I can't hear you. Amaterasu, stop. My fucking earbud died. Hold on.
Real quick, I'm trust. Are you arguing that a specific technique transcends dimensionality or space?
We're showing
Yeah,
it.
what are you saying?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I was asking for clarification on Trust's argument. So you were saying a specific jutsu transcends the concept of space,
Mm-hmm.
and then the space encompasses the concept of dimensionality, and then the concept of dimensionality exists inside of Naruto because of
Yeah.
Shibai.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's quite simple. So even though this jutsu should be on this level, it still finds it incredibly difficult to reverse Kage dimensions, indicating that Kage dimensions.
Like holy fucking shit, Amaterasu.
Can you like
Like that.
why? God damn it!
Because I had been trying to already like there's some shit that I already don't agree with, and I'm just gonna let you go on to the next point. Like,
I'm not going
so
on end.
hold on, you just chill. You were saying that it's also referring to the higher dimensionality that Shibai resides in when it
Mhm.
refers to surpasses the concepts of space and time or whatever. And
I'm not saying also it is. I'm saying we understand that the concept of dimensionality already exists within Naruto.
you're just saying that the concept of dimensionality exists within our.
We know that. We know that. I'm not saying. I'm not arguing it. We know it.
Shonen, his reasoning was for Shibai, like Shibai being higher dimensional. Like that was his
No,
reason.
fantastic. Stop fucking like. Okay, I hate when you do this shit. I'm asking you when you're saying that this fucking technique surpasses the concepts of space and time. Are you referring to even the space that Shibai resides in and their dimensionalities? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm saying it. I'm saying it surpasses the entire concept of space, which is the concept
So
of
even the
dimensionality.
spaces and different dimensionalities is what this is what I'm asking you.
Yeah. Even that, since seeing as that falls
Okay,
under the
okay,
concept of dimensionality.
okay. Let's tell you why that doesn't make sense. This teleportation ninjutsu was this data book or whatever the fuck you popped up is way before Shiba even existed. So narratively, when they're talking about this certain thing, they're not referring to something that they never even thought about, and it's in a completely different series, right? So they're not
Yeah.
referring to any space outside of the actual one that they reside
Mhm.
in
So
Earth.
yeah. So yeah, you believe that just because Shiba hadn't been introduced yet, and you believe that the concept of dimensionality didn't exist in Naruto before that.
I'm not saying that the concept of dimensionality never existed. I mean, Itachi's
So you
able to open
agree.
his
So
own.
you agree that the concept of dimensionality does exist within Naruto. The fact that they are three-dimensional
I agree.
beings
I agree
shows that
that
the
the
concept of
concept of
dimensionality exists
dimensionality.
within
Okay,
Naruto.
listen. I agree that the concept of dimensionality does exist within Naruto, but I don't agree that the technique that you're sending me actually surpasses the space and time continuums and other dimensionalities, and not just the one that they're
So,
residing themselves.
so
Because hold on, this
you
new
already agree that the concept of dimensionality exists within Naruto. And the concept of dimensionality, which would entail every dimensional plane. And this has been stated to surpass all of that. But somehow, where's the defeater here?
it's not it's not about whether or not it's a defeater. You haven't brought up enough evidence to explain why that it was referring to other space times other than the one that they're residing. Because when they're referring to teleportation ninjutsu, they're referring to the fact that they're going through space time portals that just ends them up in a different part of the universe or a different part of the earth, the way that the Kamui does, the way that the fucking Flying Rising does. But it doesn't mean that it's referring to the space time continuums outside of the dimensionality that they're in themselves. I'm not negating that the concept of dimensionality does exist. I'm negating that Naruto or the technique that you're showing is actually surpassing the space-time continuum, the concept of space-time continuums in general, and all those other space-time continuums.
Let me drop the raw scans for you. So the kanji used is choetsu, which means transcend, like actually qualitatively transcend. There's two transcend works with two characters, right? The first is koiru, which means surpass or just to go beyond something. It could be used for like when you're using space-time ninjutsu, that's koiru, right? When you want to go from a one dimension to another, it says you transcended a dimension, right? You surpassed or you went through the dimension to pass through. That's koiru. What the kanji used here is choetsu, which literally means to qualitatively transcend something. So yeah, that's the kanji used within the raws here. So it's not talking about just traversing the space. It's literally saying it transcends that. Like it qualitatively is above that. Like this is not for debate. Like it's right there.
Yeah,
Fucking
I'm not okay. One
highlight.
thing. Okay, Amaterasu, let me make the distinction that you're not trying to make. That I'm not negating that this ninjutsu doesn't, I guess, transcend what they refer to the concept of space and time in a certain dimension, right? But it's not that this technique that you're sending me affects any other space-time continuum. So, although the concept of dimensionality exists, this technique can only work within one dimensionality.
So you already agreed that the concept of dimensionality exists, and then this says it transcends all that. So where's your argument?
No. Saying
You
that it
already
exists, hold on.
agreed
Saying
to
that
my
it
argument
exists
already.
does not mean, okay, look. Like, saying that it exists does not make the correlation to the fact that it is the. Oh my God. I feel like this is just the dumbest shit ever.
Much like
But
last time, my entire
saying,
argument sits on a certain thing. Much
oh,
like
you're
last
simply
time,
saying,
my entire
you're
argument
simply
sits on a
saying,
certain thing, which you have already agreed to, right? The concept of dimensionality
yeah, what are you
existing.
talking about?
And
I
this
agree to? I
transcends
didn't
all
agree
that.
to
It's
that.
quite
What's
simple,
going on?
mate. It's quite simple. You already
Okay,
agreed to that.
I'm
So this
about to
transcends that.
moderate. Stop yelling. Stop over talking each other. Like one at a time. Like please stop interjecting,
I'm
or I'm
gonna
gonna
go
have
ahead
to
and
mute
finish.
you guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish, right? You already much like last time, right? You already agreed that the concept of dimensionality exists, right?
yeah, that doesn't
Good.
mean that
And then
this technique. Oh my God, this technique is correlated to the other
then
time continuum or
it
the other
doesn't.
dimensions that you're referring to that do exist. It's like saying,
So,
oh,
so the
hold
concept
on,
of
please,
dimensionality
hold on,
exists.
Amaterasu,
This
stop. Hold on,
transcends that.
Amaterasu, stop.
Look at he's cutting me off right now.
Bro, it's because I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I
I
haven't
never
even.
Bad, bro.
finished. You started
I'm
talking while
trying
I
to
was
sit
talking.
here. Okay. How about this? We're gonna have like. Do you guys want to do like the 1 minute take turns? Like, do we have to do that, or can you guys be like
Okay, can
cordial?
I just my analogy, Amaterasu?
Go
Like,
ahead.
okay, if I affect a certain apple, doesn't mean that I'm affecting every single apple. If I transcend the concept of an apple because I can smush the fuck out of it, I can bring it to existence and take it out of existence, doesn't mean that I can do the same with every single apple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to say about these space-time continuums and this technique affecting one certain space-time continuum or every single one. And just acknowledging that there is more apples or more space-times does not just grant you the fact that this certain technique affects all of those space-times. You're the one that has to prove it.
And I think that makes absolutely no sense because the concept of one apple is the same concept for every apple. So if we're referring to the concept of dimensionality or the concept of space, it refers to the concept of every space or the concept of every spatial axis in every dimension. So that's just how it is.
No,
It's sort of like
it's not.
it's sort of like Plato's theory of forms, right? There is one perfect one. There's one perfect chair. There's one perfect apple, and that's the
I don't
concept of it.
yeah,
That
I
and
don't see that.
that one, literally entails every apple there is. So yeah, the
No.
same way there is the concept of space, or there's the concept of apple that entails every apple. Like you literally, your argument literally just probably just exposed you right
No,
here,
it
right?
doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
You said
No, it
that
doesn't.
just
That's not.
because it's affecting the concept of
Guys,
one
one at a
apple doesn't mean it's
time. One
affecting
at a
every other
time,
apple.
please.
What?
Okay, look, Amaterasu.
No. I'm
Like,
asking MK. I'm not finished. I'm asking MK. What did MK say?
Oh,
he
I
just
said
said
one
not.
at a time. You
Oh, yeah,
guys keep on cutting each other
let me
off.
finish, right? So yeah, you said that just because the concept of apple affects one apple doesn't mean it affects everyone. And I'm here to tell you that the concept of one apple is the same concept that governs every other apple. So it's the same with the space. The concept of one space, same concept that governs every other space. So the concept of space is one, right? Go ahead. Let's
The
see.
concept of space and time is one within its own dimensionality, right? Because that's just how it is. Two space-time continuums do not exist within one space-time continuum. That's the exact same thing I'm trying to say when I get the analogy. Like, and that's exactly what you're trying to say when you say the fucking one space-time continuum being affected entails, or the concept of one space-time continuum being affected entails that all others will be affected. It's not. For that to be the case, because they're separate things in its totality. Although that there are space-time, they're not residing or are the exact same thing. Like like I said, two space-time continuums are not within one space-time continuum.
We can
Because
go to
when they,
conclusion. I
all
really don't
right, go
care
ahead.
anymore.
Go
I
ahead.
really don't care anymore.
You could just go ahead. I don't even care no more.
I've given my point. Shit, MK, do
So
you want to talk or do you have any other judges?
Can I keep writing notes for 1 second? Thanks.
Right, no.
Yes, I'm trying to give you guys a good judgment.
Mhm.
yeah, Toshiro knows exactly. Like, yes,
Toshiro watches friggin' what is that doing? Yeah, Toshiro watches friggin'
Hey,
King. He watches videos about King and friggin' Dreamy Ball. Talk about Toshiro.
Yeah, what's up, Sean? Bro, we haven't even got to Shonen scaling.
and where are you scaling your character? Because you know you can't scale into multiversal, right?
I'm not getting into multiversal. Way above that. Yeah, except I'm not referring to space-time. Space and dimensionality coincide.
I assume you're arguing outer versal based off of this.
And out of also distance.
Why you gotta overcomplicate shit? Just say outer versal. Like,
Nah,
but okay, give me 1 second though.
it's the PTSD from people trying to, use your words to trap you. Then they're just gonna take everything hyper literally, not apply Grass's razor, and they'll just be like, "Well, you said that. You said that."
To attack that, it's like honestly, bro, I don't know where you seem to attack the fact that this ninjutsu is only referring to one
Yeah.
specific dimensionality.
What I'm
And
saying is, if what Toshiro said is your argument, then shit. Because I'm not talking about space times.
okay, if you're saying that you didn't clarify
As in
shit and
dimensions.
you're actually trying to say that's
Space
not
as in
a
dimensions, as in axes, not friggin' linear dimensions. I'm talking about stacking dimensions. But shit, that's fine.
yeah, and I'm saying that this technique is not referring to the stacking dimensions that you're referring to.
Okay.
And it
Bro,
just
fuck, I really don't want to give judgment on this point, bro.
I
But
swear
like,
to God, bro. I swear to God.
okay, bro. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, so Amaterasu, your argument is technique is stated to transcend the concept of space, and the concept of space encompasses all of dimensionality. And then you brought up like Plato's theory of forms and shit to back that up. And
That,
wait, what?
that is analogy with the apple.
don't get stuck on that, Shonen. But and he's saying higher dimensions exist inside of Naruto because we know Shibai exists and he's higher dimensional. So if the technique transcends all of dimensionality, that would entail that he transcends the higher dimensional space and all the other dimensions that are above. And then Shonen, you responded by saying that it's likely the author wouldn't be referring to something he hasn't even imagined in like a whole other series. And then from there, everything was gibberish, bro. Like, you want to give me your rebuttal, like, to that, like, Amaterasu? Because I genuinely didn't hear anything.
So Shonen said that the concept of apple, just because you're affecting one apple doesn't mean you're affecting everyone, which
No,
is
no,
inherently
no, no,
wrong
no,
looking at
no,
the
no,
concept of
no,
one
no,
apple.
no, 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 no. That's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking.
You
I'm
already got on
asking
that
you,
part, though.
what?
I don't know, have you ever gotten that? Have you gotten that part yet? Because it's gonna be like, whoa,
No,
I never
no,
heard
okay,
that.
no. I think Shonen's wrong on that part. Okay, so next, can you address the thing that I'm asking, please?
What are you asking is my question.
I'm asking you, um, what was your response to Shonen saying that it's likely the author wouldn't be referring to something he hasn't even imagined yet in a whole other series?
In the whole other
Because
series, what are you
the
talking?
statement was made like way before Boruto, way before Shibai was
Oh
even
no,
a
no, no,
concept.
no, 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 no. That he already agreed to the concept of dimensionality existing. Friggin' what's Shonen already agreed to the concept of dimensionality existing, right? And he knows that the concept of one dimension is concept of all dimensions. He already agreed to that. Like, I hope the people in the friggin' audience heard that. 'Cause
Like
yeah, he already agreed to that.
I can agree that he agreed to that, but like, bro, when
So
I'm
he
telling
agreed.
you that doesn't, why did I agree to it? Okay, so
Why did you agree to this, MK?
yes, he agreed, to what you just said, the concept of dimensionality exists. But
Mm.
if the concept of dimensionality at the point of time was only expanded to be like sort of encompassing only one dimension, right? Then the statement in question would only be referring to one dimension because at the time, what was only established to be was one dimension, right? So contextually, right, at the time, he's saying that because that thing wasn't even established, it's likely just referring to what was established, which was
And
just the one dimension.
I'm saying, regardless of what has been established, like the seventh dimension has not been established in Naruto. The seventh dimension has not been established. It doesn't mean that the concept of dimensionality would not entail also the seventh and everything above that. I feel like that's an absolute bullshit point.
Yeah, but I feel like there's nothing. There's just like, oh, you think that because the concept of space, when the author says it, it's going to be referring to it regardless. And then Shonen's just saying, okay, well, I just think the author's only referring to the concept in space in reference to what was established in that point of time. And then, like, I'm gonna be honest, 100% honest. There's nothing telling me from either side to be like, oh, he's right. Oh no, he's right. Like, honestly, there's no justification I heard.
So
Like, I
wait,
would say inconclusive on this point.
you're telling me that just because he hadn't said it means he didn't know about high dimensions until he said it about Shibai.
Bro, like you have to understand, you really think Shiba, like if we're being reasonable, like pragmatically, right? He probably didn't even think of Shiba at the point of time. If we're being real.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter because there's a singular extra dimension friggin' introduced. You're saying that, oh, if that singular extra dimension was introduced, then of course it would encompass all of dimensionality. Just because that
Let,
singular extra
let
dimension
lay
wasn't
it out for me.
introduced, it wouldn't. It would only encompass what the
I'm
three
gonna trust you real
dimensions.
quick.
Then
Specifically, because this is what I need for my judgment, right? Lay it out lay it out for me how you explained that what Shonen said cannot be the case. Like just simply.
Okay, right. The same way, because he thinks what his entire argument, because Shonen friggin' Toshiro made a statement, and he was like, "Yeah, Toshiro, you're right." So he
Yeah,
thinks that space is referring to a
you don't know
space-time
what
dimension, a friggin' linear dimension,
all
right?
right.
And I'm
You
saying
don't
no,
think
referring
that
to
he was
stacking
referring to
dimensions.
the access, yes, but because you're not gonna do that shit. You're not gonna just say, "Oh, Teshiro said something," and Shonen
Did you
agrees with
not?
that. Because you're not gonna
Did you not?
But
because
Because
I
this
don't.
is
I
mad.
got this. Let him, please,
Did you
please,
not?
please, please. Let me. He's trying to contest judgment. Sean, I'll give you your chance to speak and everything. Just let him answer the question real quick.
Toshiro says, and I quote, Shonen is talking about space times in general, which is space time. He's referring to a space linearly, right? Like an actual place, a dimension, a world, right? That's what, and he's like, yeah. He agrees. Like, he agrees to that statement, right? And I'm saying, I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to stacking dimensions, dimensionality. He then talks about again, which literally reiterates what
Wait,
I'm saying,
I'm
right?
sorry,
And
I have
says,
to interject, but you wouldn't just be talking about what you just said. You'd also be talking about what Shonen said. Because if you're talking about the concept of space, it would encompass all dimensions.
yeah,
Not only the ones that you're talking about, the stacking dimensions, but also the ones that Shonen is talking about. So it's not just like, oh, you're not talking about the one that Shonen is. You are. Like you're talking about both.
yeah, but that's not the focal point of my argument. The focal point of my argument is not that it transcends space-time continuums or it transcends worlds. That's not what I'm saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the
Yeah,
focal
no,
point here.
I
Yeah,
understand that.
right. So then add on to the argument. He literally said himself that if the concept of one apple is not the concept of every apple, which is just blatantly wrong. Right. So he already agrees that the
Okay,
concept of space exists
I already
and the concept
granted,
of
bro. But
stacking
you
dimensions
can't
is the same.
tell me stuff that I just said that he was wrong about. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna lay this out for both of you. The space
I
time argument, real quick, Shonen. I'm gonna trust you. This whole space time argument, that part was not a defeater to your argument. Um, the whole
then there should be nothing.
argument against your Plato of form shit, that wasn't a defeater to your argument. But the thing that sort of seemed like almost a defeater was the authorship. That's what I'm stuck on. So just
The
bring me to
author,
that specific thing.
so This is why I keep
Can you
bringing
hear
up
me?
the apple. This is why I keep bringing up the apple point because it fits in perfectly with what you're saying. Here's the theta was. This is why I keep
Okay,
bringing up that apple
let
point
me ask you this: is it
because it doesn't
possible?
matter whether
Let
Kishimoto
me
was
ask you this.
talking.
I want to ask you this, Amaterasu. Maybe this might make it more clear. Is it possible that when the author said the concept of space, they was just
Mhm.
referring to the amount of dimensions that were currently established in the series? Is that possible?
It's impossible because the concept of space entails all of dimensions, not just 3D. The concept, imagine saying the concept of
It's not possible.
it's not. It doesn't make any sense.
So
I've
wait,
literally had this before. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah. If I would want to get a third person in here because I don't like y'all putting too much on me. I thought we were gonna have like other judges, bro. Like,
We've already established.
if y'all wanna make it easier, if y'all want to make it easier for me, we can run a poll.
We've already. I don't think Shonen wants a poll. We've already established the existence of stacking dimensions, seeing as a friggin' Orochi's ability to open up.
You need help for
Uh,
judgment midnight?
Shut up. MK, I don't want to do what you think. Honestly, like I thought the same thing you think. I don't know how the fuck this nigga ever attacked my point on the author's statement. The only thing he did say was like, "What? So you saying this? You're fucking stupid, Mike." Like, that's
All
like,
right, so. But
You need
I,
judgment midnight,
I
or
don't.
what?
let's be real. I
my
just
me
look
your point
Ice.
on the
Have you
poll.
been Ice? Have you been listening? Ice. If you were listening and you give a judgment, we'll just go with whatever you
I
think.
was in and out. Can they run a conclusion? Can I? Is
What
that
happened?
fine? I was in and out of it. Can they run a quick conclusion so I understand each point
Okay,
correctly?
how about this? I'm gonna explain both their points
Yeah,
just so
yeah,
it's
it's
easier
fine,
because I
yeah.
don't want them going through all this
All right,
tangential shit.
all
I'm
right,
just gonna make it simpler, bro.
all right.
So I'm gonna explain the specific thing that I'm stuck on with these two. So essentially, right, there was a statement that a technique transcends the concept of space. And then there was an argument that the concept of space encompasses all of dimensionality, right? And then like he brought up the concept of dimensionality would exist inside of Naruto because somebody like Shibai exists and he's a higher dimensional being. That implies that there's some sort of infinite hierarchy or some shit. And then basically from there, he was saying that essentially, since the technique transcends the concept of space, it's going to transcend all higher dimensional planes that he established via the Shibai argument. And then
Okay.
basically, like, what
Well,
Shonen
there's
argued
only one.
against that.
Yeah.
Hmm?
No. So, in my opinion, there's only one way to defeat it. Did the other person just bring up the fact that the statement just in reference to what's said from the serious point?
He's saying that basically Shonen's defeater was like, oh, well, this statement was made way before
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
like
okay,
Shibai.
yeah. That's fine. If he's saying that the statement is only in reference to what we know so far, yeah, I think that's a fine argument to rebuttal. What was the rebuttal to
Okay.
that?
He kind of just was saying he kind of was just running back to the whole Plato forms and if, like the perfect form of an apple or perfect form of space is going to encompass all possible variations of space. So even if it wasn't established, it's still going to be encompassed. But I don't think that got us far, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
don't really think that matters. That's just
Yeah.
like whatever he's establishing. Like, did he explain how what he's establishing is the same? Because like he's just implying Plato's theory without really like.
Mhm.
Did he find reason why that?
Because it seems like what was in question really was like what the author meant by the statement, and
Yeah.
then like I'm just saying like there's no clear symmetry breaker between
Well,
like
the
the
part I'm
possibility.
having a problem with is the statement can be in reference to the current dimension. Obviously, he's trying to justify whatever the fuck it being higher dimensional, which he would need Shibai to justify there being higher dimensions. But like Shonen said, it's like that it's
No,
defeated by the fact
first of
at
all,
that point that thing wasn't true.
First of all, we don't need Shiba to justify the high dimensional existence in Naruto. Like, as I said, it's been entailed throughout the entire series. Like, heck, going back to the third data
Yeah,
book,
you
right?
okay?
With
You know, okay. Wait, you even if you said that, you're not actually. You didn't point a case other than that case out.
what are you
I'm
talking about?
gonna be real. I've only heard, I dead ass Amaterasu only heard the Shibai shit. Like,
Yeah, 'cause you're only pointing out one case.
did you bring up instances like
I,
where
I
it was the
explained.
case that we have higher dimensional?
I literally said even with Onoki, right? It's been stated that his ability, blah blah blah, or something. Let me find the data book statement.
Well, if you
Onoki,
didn't send
and
the
then
scan, that's already kind of crazy.
before that, in
Well,
the third data book,
you
it
even
states, and then before that, in the third data book, it states about Deidara's ability is having some two-dimensional bullshit.
Did you send these scans for this?
I spoke about that.
even
Never,
even if that
Wait,
even if like
are we
you're
not taking the
okay, you're
most
saying
charitable?
2 dimensional. Yeah, okay, but aren't you just? Isn't that just establishing that there's a
whole
two,
point in
like
not
a second dimension? Like,
yeah,
okay, but
I don't see how the second
wait,
dimension.
I'm gonna let you take this from here,
I'm
Ice, in
saying
terms
that
of this
I'm saying that
specific
the
Okay,
literal
judgment.
so
second
there's
and
no.
the
I have
third
a
dimension
question.
in Shippuden a
What
long
metric
time
are we going on? Wait,
Shiba,
real quick.
a long
What
time before
metric?
this.
Wait, hold on. What metric were we going by? Are we using the most charitable representations of the argument, or just whatever we take for face value?
Or like, just like,
Yeah, because if
I
you're
don't know if
being
this answers
charitable,
your
technically he
question.
should. If you're being charitable, then he would have to if he didn't justify those claims, I really don't give a fuck. But if you're just taking everything for face value, whenever the fuck it said it defeated or not defeated, doesn't matter. Then I mean, if Shonen
I
did
mean,
get a chance to
just
attack
go
this
off of
argument,
based on how you want to judge. To be honest, that's how like I mean everyone does it.
okay. So if
So
I'm
like,
being charitable, obviously I think Shonen.
just
But if
okay.
I'm taking everything to face value, then I guess I'm a draw.
But like,
I hope
give us one answer, because giving two people is not going to get us nowhere.
Well, okay, like that's how. Okay, do y'all?
Well,
Okay,
okay, let me ask you
I
this:
know. I'll be.
which one do
I'm
you
a try to.
oftentimes like?
I'm a
Which one
try
do you
to.
judge better
I with
off
a
of? Like,
charitable judgment. Like I don't.
I mean, what I mentioned it before. You want me to still show the scans to prove that I wasn't frigging capping that on my mind?
I mean, you can show it now, but like we're talking about in context of the debate.
Yeah, exactly. I already spoke about it. Never had an
Yeah,
issue
but you
with what
didn't
I said.
prove it during the debate, though.
I
Wait,
did
Shonen,
he
Shonen,
did
did
he
you not have?
counter it? We
Wait.
spoke in
Shonen,
the
do you
last
think?
point. We
All
literally
right,
spoke
that's fine, that's fine.
in the
Shonen, do you
last
think
point.
I,
those two?
I don't
Wait.
see I don't see at
In the
what
last
point
point, we spoke about
Shonen, are
the
you fine
entire
with those
thing.
2
Oh, we
points
didn't
being?
contest.
Hold
There's no
on,
contest.
Amateur. Hold on.
That's the
Shonen,
entire thing.
hold
Now
on,
we
hold on.
didn't contest.
Wait,
There's no issue with it.
Bro, wait. Shonen, are you fine with those 2 things being true? Shonen.
hold on. Like, what the
He
fuck
can't
do you mean
contest it
for being
now. He
charitable?
didn't
You're
contest it
giving
in
it
the debate. Same metric you're
like,
using against me.
like, what the fuck you mean, Ice? By if you're being charitable, you're giving it to me. At what point does he refute my point at all? Like, what?
Well, if he's trying to say that the skin is demonstrated throughout the entire series, and he's putting forward multiple different cases, and you didn't get a chance to defeat these multiple consistent cases.
You're saying he's putting forth what?
Okay, I'm not. I'm going off what MK originally told me. MK originally said he put up one case because he's trying to say that this thing is just consistent throughout the series. But according to him, he brought up multiple cases. So you're just saying,
What? Bro, none of that shit happened.
okay,
I said
so that's what I'm saying. Amaterasu is claiming. That's why I'm asking you. He's
None
claiming
of
that
none
you
of that
didn't have
shit
a problem with it.
happened, bro. So what are you talking about? If you're gonna be charitable, you're gonna give me the point. That shit is bullshit. He never refuted anything. Like this is, bro. What?
That's what he's saying. That's why I'm asking you.
Bro, he
Bro,
didn't
look,
show me
I'm
your
where
entire Apple analogy.
the shit bias
Hey,
actually in
like
correlation to the previous series. Like he never showed no evidence for none of that shit. He never showed any instances. Like what are we talking about here?
Bro,
that's what he's claiming
it's
he
kind of
did, and
like,
you
bro,
agreed
it's kind of
apparently.
like this kind of reminds me of an instance where like we have a statement like, oh, Itachi's Totsuka blade can seal anything, and then like no matter how far the series progresses, you just say that like it applies because it says everything. Like
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it
I have
is.
an issue with something very specific that was said.
that's my other. I'll just bring up that
Let
point.
NTR go real quick.
Oh my bad.
Okay, I have
Go
an issue with something specific that was said, right? I was said, right? when Amaterasu about the fact that he already cited this scan that was brought up, right? And then you guys are like,
Yeah.
well, did you ever show the scan? If Shonen never asked for a physical copy of the scan, then it doesn't matter. A citation is evidence.
Yeah, NTR,
They-
I
they-
get that part. That's what I was trying to say.
like I can even grant that, but there's a big issue. Like I dead ass didn't hear it. Like so, I'm just confused when he just randomly brings this up.
Yeah,
like
that's the part, NTR. There's two problems with that,
Well,
right? The
didn't
first
hear
problem
me.
is we don't. Hold on.
Look,
Wait, let me talk on Terrace real quick. There's two problems,
dead
NTR.
Loki,
Wait,
not
hold on.
once.
Wait, hold on, NTR, hold on. There's
This
two
is like
problems
no
with that.
my
The
argument.
first problem.
Amaterasu, just chill for a second. Amaterasu, just chill for a
There's
second.
two problems here. The first problem is right. NTR. Like I said earlier. I assume if we're being like, I was being charitable, as in like, so for example, if I say an argument and like your mic, if you're deafened for some odd reason or something, would you take those arguments to be true, even though there is a reason for you not being able to respond?
I think if someone is deafened in the debate, then like the debate's been like compromised. Like that's just like a
What if
completely different scenario.
If you want a better example, what if I whisper my arguments?
That's on you. Yeah.
So you think we should still take you as winning the point if I whisper arguments?
If you whisper your arguments and then no one heard it, you would have to ask the audience or anyone else if they heard it or not, and then we can go over that.
Okay, that's fine. So we agree. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking
all
for
right. If we agree to that, then can anybody else? Hold on. No. Hold on. Let's get past this part because MK points was interesting. How even if you MK points still interesting, but let's not jump immediately to MK's other problem. Let's first figure out this problem because this problem could potentially defeat the other problem. All right. So does anybody like, I don't know how we would do this, but I guess you could make like a poll if he said it or not. Like I guess these like multiple different cases. Like NTR, do you recall these multiple different cases?
I came in specifically during this part of the judgment. I just had an issue with that specific argument that was made up in the judgment. I don't know. I don't know what was said or what was not said. I just had an issue with the whole like citation thing.
My biggest problem is
MK who is here. And
This dude's argument can be easily reconstructed. My argument, I didn't hear that. Mad.
Nigga, you didn't send shit. You said
once the word Onoki. You didn't hear me talk about Onoki and the fact that it's been portrayed all around the series. You didn't hear that.
You only about because of Steven. And that
can't see
makes
that. What are they saying?
The ninjutsu technique. And I was saying that no, it doesn't make a correlation because the ninjutsu technique came out way before, and it could be referring to one singular concept.
Wait, real quick.
Okay. I'm now gonna be like more straightforward, bro. I'm just going off the poll. I'm like deadass. 5 people said they heard it, so we're just gonna continue. I'm gonna give it the point to Amaterasu.
Bullshit. What did
wait? So did he? Wait. What was the other?
We can double. Wait, how about this? We can double check the recording. We can double check the recording. So we can double check the recording. Wait, hold on. For the sake of progression. Wait. For the sake of progression, we'll just say the Amaterasu on this point.
Judged. Yeah. We'll just go. Okay.
Okay,
ask him. Wait, pause. Wait, not judge there. Hold on.
Be quiet, bro, please.
Wait, hold on. MK, bring up the other problem.
Oh my god, bro. Can somebody kick this nigga out of something, bro? What the fuck?
MK, bro, Shonen, you technically didn't
Shut the
necessarily
fuck up, bro. Shut up.
Bro, okay, guys, look, like, I don't want to have a screaming match over this.
Explain to me why.
I'm still saying Shonen probably won the point, but he's interrupted me.
I'm not saying anything. I just find it crazy that he
How
keeps bringing it back. Like that is the entire point.
How?
Like,
how are we from? He never refuted my argument.
I was gonna get
bro, because the reason why is because I did a poll. People are saying that like they apparently heard him bring up the Inoki part, so I'm just going for progression. Which by the way, this is a temporary judgment. I'm gonna go through the recording again, and then I'm gonna actually see if he said it, and if he did, I'll literally send you the timestamp.
I don't think he wants
somebody's affirming. Hold on. If somebody's affirming something, it's up to y'all to prove he's affirming first place. It's not for me to be, Like, come on, bro, what are we doing here? Like, he needs to be the one that proves something. Like, if he didn't prove that, and if there's no record, he first of all, he never said shit other than she biased dimensionality, and that's the reason why the concept of dimensionality.
I said we see dimensionality being mentioned even with Shiba. Then you talk about, oh well, Shiba has been mentioned at that point. Like even all through the series.
Hold on. That doesn't refute my fucking point. Like, that doesn't refute my point about the technique only referring to one specific space-time continuum. It doesn't matter that a fucking stack of dimensionalities exist.
Look at this bullshit. He's still talking about one space. Like, literally. Yo, hey. He's still talking about one space-time continuum. MK, your argument isn't even what he made. He's still talking about one space. He's still talking about space-time continuum. He's still talking about linear dimensions. This has nothing to do with what I was saying.
Wait, hold on.
He's still talking about space-time continuums. Like, it's gonna be like I'm crazy.
Wait, MK. Shonen, hold on. I said there's still another point or necessarily a point. So I don't know why you're like yelling about judgment yet. MK, what was that second point you brought up about even if the other evidence was true or his evidence wasn't brought up? You did say there was still another contention, right?
I don't know what you're specifically bringing up. Are you talking about contention that Shonen brought up?
You're saying like this like these two pieces or three pieces of evidence, I guess, don't justify it universally, I guess, or the fuck. You're saying like there is another problem, and you bring up the Itachi's. It can sell everything, and you bring up of a case if it's selling 3 or 4 things. It's not enough.
That wasn't more of like an argument. It was just more of like a situation, sort of like how like the argument's a bit absurd, but like
also equivalent to a situation.
Okay. But is it really though? Like if we have something that
it is. The concept of
I'm yet to understand how you brought that correlation from this technique referring to every single space. Or the stacking
like using the Plato form. Real quick. Let me speak real quick, because you guys are getting emotional, and I just want to speak for 1 second. Amaterasu, chill out.
Linear dimension.
Chill out. Amaterasu. Look, I'm gonna be honest. By the way, me bringing up the whole Totsuka Blade shit was not an argument against what you were saying, right? It was just more to point out, like, okay, like usually people don't accept stuff like this, and it is analogous because when you're talking about Plato's theory of forms, right, it encompasses everything pertaining to the concept of the object. So if we have the concept of an apple, right, Plato's theory of forms is gonna encompass all possible variations of an apple.
He makes that analogy with the apple.
Yeah, so it's like everything. It's no different from you saying, "Oh, the Totsuka blade can seal anything," and then like you have like 40 years in the series.
So what you're basically saying
these boundless entities, and then you say that the Totsuka blade.
It is different because everything can easily be used hyperbolically.
What is Amaterasu rebuttal to that? Like, I want to know.
Bro, like we're not going to be able to progress if whenever I speak. Hold on. We're not going to be able to progress if whenever I speak, someone interjects, bro. Like same for all of y'all. Like you guys are interjecting each other.
Wait. I got a question, MK. I gotta give it. So is your big problem? Hold on. Are you saying the big problem, MK, is you don't think Amaterasu inherently presented enough evidence to prove the claim?
I'm trying to be like is concise as possible with the judgment, right? So that's why I'm not like being so definite. I would be so definite, like, oh, nigga, you lose, right? But I'm trying to be more understanding, right, to the position, right? So basically, what I was saying, right, what the main thing that was in question was the author's interpretation. When the author says the concept of space, is he referring to the concept of in space as in what's been currently established, or like every dimension that ever will possibly be established inside of Naruto? That's the point of contention. And then where I'm struggling is with the judgment is that I don't feel like either side really gave justification to say like the author's interpretation was a specific thing without just reiterating their initial position and circling back.
Bring up the kanji and everything.
Up that the technique fundamentally works. What
evidence fully set raw sense and
Bro, you're both
literally,
One at
arguing
a
at the
time,
same
please.
time.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Shonen, please let
I
him
was
talk. He was going first. Please.
I was talking.
Were you?
so I literally. You looking like it's this. There's no reason for a friggin' recording at this point because literally look at the friggin' chat where I literally pull up the raw scans and the distinction between Koeru and Choetsu and what they implicate. And he talks about he was still even now he's still talking about linear dimensions, space-time continuums. I'm not talking about that. Friggin' MK, you acknowledge that, yeah. Yeah, you acknowledge what I was discussing, what I was talking about, and I was talking about friggin' stacking dimensions and transcendental friggin' hierarchical dimensions instead of linear dimensions, right? And I talk about
Well. To be clear, you were talking about both.
yeah, but I said that was
Just ask real quick, where are the scans being sent? Where are the
argument
scans
was on
being
a
sent?
certain yeah, and I said the focal point of my argument was on a certain one. His entire rebuttal was presupposing that the focal point of my argument was on a space-time continuum, which it was not. Right, and I literally bring up the distinction
You're
between
hung up,
two
Amaterasu.
argument
I don't want to
carriers.
cut you off, but you're hung up on the wrong thing. That's not the issue. His space, I will literally say right now, his space-time shit wasn't a defeater. Can you address the thing that was, please? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Right, I literally bring up the fact that Choetsu and Koeru are two different things. Right, and when he refers to Choetsu, it's literally talking about transcendence. Right, like actual
yes.
transcendence.
You're not addressing the issue, Amaterasu. Please, bro. I will lay it out for you, bro. It's
Which
plain
is
as
what
day. I mean,
issue I'm talking about.
the issue is the author's interpretation. That's the issue. When the author says the concept of space, is he referring to the concept of space as in like something like no matter how far he expands it, right? The statement will encompass this, or does he mean the concept of space as in the dimensions that we currently know, everything that we
Yeah,
currently know? Because at the
good.
time, the concept of space was only as big as it was established to be, right? So I'm saying, how do you resolve that issue?
First of all, right, it's a long point. First of all, I stated that doesn't matter if this is what has been established because it would be absolutely stupid. Even with the Shibai point, it'd be stupid, right? Because with the Shibai point, it only establishes up to the fourth or fifth dimension. That doesn't establish all dimensionality. But we know that the fact that dimensionality exists, and he's referring to the concept. In fact, we know like, oh, this apple exists. We might not know, okay, what about Spanish apples? We don't know about Spanish apples. We don't know about friggin', let's say, Norwegian apples. Right? We don't know all apples, but we know when this talk about the concept of apples, it's directly referring to all friggin' apples, right? It's the same way that even without the Shibai point, if he says the concept is referring to all friggin' dimensions, and I literally talk about, oh yeah, it's been explained throughout, or dimensionality has mentioned throughout the entire friggin' series. And I talk about Onoki and the fact that Onoki's dimension Onoki's friggin' ability states to be to work on some three-dimensional level when friggin' Deidara's shit works on like some two-dimensional shit. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing here, right? But that
So
literally
what you have right now is that
shows
let's
the
say the Onoki should happen. Let's say that the Onoki should happen, right? So that
Mhm.
means we have two-dimensional things, we have three-dimensional things,
And where the fuck is the 4
and
and
then
5D shit coming from right there at the
Because
moment?
that doesn't matter because we could literally still take this point, the entire argument. We could literally take this and apply to that and say, okay, well, what's the seventh and eighth? Where's the ninth and tenth? Where's the friggin' 100? We can literally make that same argument and it doesn't matter, right? If the
wait,
concept of space,
because there's a certain amount of dimensions that you can see in Naruto, that established as if there's an infinite number.
that means the concept of dimensions exists.
But you were asserting an infinite hierarchy, though. Like that's not all you're saying. You're also saying there's an
Concept
infinite hierarchy.
infinite hierarchy.
So you're
Wait,
saying that
you weren't saying it's an
there's a
infinite
dimension.
hierarchy?
Wait, I'm confused as fuck now. I thought you were saying it shows 2, it shows 3, so we assume 4, 5, 6, and 7. That was your point.
Come again.
That's what I thought too.
Come again.
I thought your point was you're establishing that there's a 2-dimension, 3-dimension. So you're saying like it's consistent for all that. It's consistent to be a hierarchy for 4, 5, 6, and 7, etc. Is that not
I'm
what you're
saying
saying?
my argument was that qualitative superiority between dimensions has been highlighted multiple times throughout the series.
So then Okay. So you're saying off it being a second, a 2 and 3, then there would be a 4, then off it being a 4, then there would be a 5, and off a 5. Is that not what you're saying?
No. Okay. So what can I? No, I actually get what he's trying to say. So what he's trying to say is that the fact that the series has pointed out that there is a sort of qualitative difference between dimensions. So that gap between dimensions has been established within the series. So he's asserting that because that gap has been established, you can then like assert that when they say the concept of space, right, it would be accounting for like the gaps between dimensionality, right?
That's not a point of contention. Like that's not even a point of contention. The issue is he going to say like even if we grant the Shibai shit, like the okay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right dimensions, right? Is he now saying that because there's that amount of dimensions, there's an infinite? Is that the claim?
I don't think that's relevant to his argument. Honestly,
No,
but like
it is because
if Amaterasu wants to elaborate,
it was more rhetorical question because that's what he said.
Yeah, I'm saying that just at the mention of the concept of dimensions literally entails the existence of that infinite hierarchy that you're talking about. Like in our dimension,
isn't the question a matter of whether there is an infinite hierarchy for the concept of space to encompass?
That infinite hierarchy literally entails, or that friggin' concept of space entails that. It's like with our dimension.
Let him say what he wants to say.
No, I'm saying okay, because I think I get it now. I think I get it.
3 dimensions, right? We know of 3 dimensions. The 4th is purely hypothetical. The 5th is purely hypothetical, but we know that it exists infinitely.
Okay, he's talking about he's talking about dimensions as an idea. I think that's what he's referring to.
But the whole Plato's perfect form shit is only gonna work when there is an infinite hierarchy, right?
5th dimension, 7 dimensions, 8 dimensions is because we have seen the distinction between 1, 2, and 3. That's why we literally start to theorize. Okay, what about the 4th, the 5th?
Okay. So are you saying there has to be a hierarchy to make a separation?
It has literally the existence of the lower ones and
it's not a matter of like whether there's a hierarchy. It's a matter of whether there's like an infinite hierarchy because that's what gets you to outer.
He's trying to make is you can't make a distinction between the two. I think the point he's trying to make is if there isn't a hierarchy, you can't make a distinction between the second and the third dimension. Right.
If there isn't a hierarchy, you can't make a distinction between the first and the second. I don't get that.
It wouldn't be a distinction between the first and second, right? If there wasn't that infinite hierarchy, all of dimensionality has to. You can't just say, "Oh, it all just stops at the 4th dimension. It all just stops at the 3rd dimension."
Wait. So if you have 7 higher dimensional planes, from there, right? Let's say we grant there's like seven different dimensional planes, all hierarchical to each other, right? You have like a 1 dimension, 2nd dimension that transcends the 1st, so and so. How from there do you get that because there's 7 dimensions, there's an infinite hierarchy of dimensions transcend upon each other? Please tell me. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, it's just like the concept with space-time continuum, right? They say that a space-time continuum has a friggin' 4-dimensional container, and that container has to be contained by something, and that has to be contained by another thing, that has to be contained by another, and that it has to be something in a higher dimension or higher friggin' axes that contains it. And sort of in that sense, the same way theoretically in our realm or our friggin' in reality IRL, right? The entire reason all this dimensionality bullshit exists is because they have literally observed the distinction between the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd dimension. Looking at that distance, they're like, okay, what about the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and that literally.
Okay, real quick. So NTR, real quick. Does the whole space-time container presuppose like an infinite amount of dimensions contain each other?
That's
it's like to explain it. This is
he's saying because like each dimension needs a container. So like if you have the 7th dimension, you need an 8th dimension as a higher dimensional container. So
it's like that. Of the fact that one needs.
Wait. I need clarification. I want NTR to answer this real quick because I don't even.
I'm saying sort of how each dimension needs a container to contain it, right? It needs a high dimension.
Before I give my thoughts on that, I feel like we're getting to the point where we're no longer like it's no longer a debate between Shonen and like Amaterasu. It's kind of a debate between like us and
No,
Amaterasu because we're no longer bringing up stuff.
That's not what I'm trying to. That's not what I'm trying to do. I was just more trying to figure out for his argument, like how is he
Look,
getting? How does he get to the infinite hierarchy?
Look. Yo, the time is 7:30.
Look,
The time is 7:30. The time is 7:30.
Hey, whoa,
my God, bro.
Shonen, no one's gonna understand you. I'm not okay.
Yeah,
MK, you might have to mute him. I actually have no idea.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah, I don't even know what
This
the
shit
fuck.
is fucking stupid, bro. As we
The
progress,
time is 7:30. After
he
you've
never
gone by
said
8.
okay. Whoa,
Bro,
chill.
we can't hear you when you're
Yeah,
screaming.
you're
Shonen,
just
bro.
like yelling to yell.
Yeah. When I hear Amaterasu's argument, right, what it seems like to me that he's trying to establish here is that when it comes to dimensionality, when it comes to like what all this stuff, right, I don't think he's actually saying that there. Amaterasu, are you actually saying that there is a literal infinite hierarchy in the verse, or are you saying that dimensionality implies that the dimensions are hierarchical? Right. It
Come
sounded
again?
that to me first before I go on to what
It sounds like that's like the just like the
It
same
sounded like he
way,
was saying
the
infinite, but I'm
same
not
thing.
sure at this point.
No, okay. So the second thing for me is that like when you have more dimensions, right, there will be a hierarchy between them, right? Like the gap between dimensions implies that each dimension added increases the hierarchy, which goes on infinitely, right?
Yeah.
bro.
But the first one, right? The first one is me saying that the infinite dimensions are already there within the verse.
This nigga
Right.
NTR talking about, bro. Y'all keep talking about shit that just
I'm
never
saying-
happened. Y'all let this nigga Amaterasu make up arguments that
Okay,
never.
Shonen. I'm talking about what was literally just verbally said.
This is I feel like we do you know this is my bad. I feel like I partially derailed this debate by asking him questions. I was honestly really like I really wanted to
Yeah,
know.
I need this
like, I do
clarification.
want to say
I
the
need
whole
this.
thing with
Okay,
the
Shonen.
hierarchy shit. Wait. I want to clarify. That the arguments that he said when I was asking him questions was not said in his debate with Shonen.
Look,
I just want to say that.
NTR, the main problem I had NTR, it just seems like the statement. Okay, so obviously there is a hierarchy here. Obviously 2, 3, 4, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
But the problem I'm having is it seems like when you make, you know how sometimes a statement can only be applicable to what's being represented at the time.
Shut your bitch ass up, like.
So
Okay,
like,
I don't think concept of space and concept of dimensions, right? Like that's a blatant overall statement. It's not something that's really limited to like one particular instance or type of thing.
wait,
right?
NTR, I agree depending on
about MK versus Amaterasu, nigga.
I agree, NTR. I still agree depending
Okay.
on
I'm sorry.
context.
I'm moving everyone down. I'm sorry, but I'm taking control of this shit, bro. I'm sorry. So let's.
Fuck, man.
Okay. So Son, is there anything you want to say?
Yes. Okay. So what just happened in the past 5 to 10 minutes that y'all were talking was NTR pulled up, admitted he didn't know fucking shit, doesn't know what the fuck I'm arguing, and it's just explaining how Amaterasu's argument is completely logical and disregarding the fact that I argued anything in general. And he's also fucking letting this nigga Amaterasu say new shit and just taking it as if it was said in the dialect when it wasn't.
Don't worry. It won't be factored into the judgment at all. I understand that how the things were not said inside of the debate. I was just more. It got out of control because I was asking too many questions. But
Bro, okay. When you feel like your intuition said something, and I just don't know why we derailed from your own intuition. Like, what I honestly, bro, I just don't know.
the thing that threw me off really heavy was the Inoki stuff. And then like I feel like even if we agree that like this
Bro,
there
we can't agree something that's on the affirmation, bro. We need he
I
needs
know
to
no
show that.
I understand. I was more saying like even if we do agree to this thing, I don't think it really gets us to an infinite
I
amount
don't
of
either.
dimensions with a hierarchy. So that would have to be something y'all either go into, or unless you guys feel like you already covered it, then
Well, I just went over this specific point. I don't want to have to go over it again. Like, it's like giving Amaterasu a second chance. He didn't refute my author statement argument. He never said that, like, he didn't say until after that the dimensionalities, existed. And that he never even argued that it was an infinite hierarchy. He never, like, what is going on here?
okay. So
Asking me what I meant. And I explained it, and it's not like me confirming or denying. I explained after they asked me to explain what I meant. And now they're getting
Look,
more clarity onto my points.
I'm gonna
I still don't understand how I won, how I lost the last one,
honestly,
but that's fine.
honestly, so here's gonna be my judgment. So hypothetically, if the Inoki stuff happened, I don't think it gets us much, because that would just mean that the concept of space is referring to the second dimension as well. Um, and obviously, if it didn't happen, then it's completely irrelevant. Um, and then from there, I would say that even if the Inoki should happen, it wouldn't matter, because all it would be referring to is just like a second dimensional space. It doesn't establish that there's an infinite hierarchy or anything like that.
I feel
Please
like
let me
that's purely.
speak.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna say it's purely subjective, I don't really see why. Like, if you put that in prop logic form, my boy, where like that would just not follow.
I
Um,
keep. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, right? So I don't really, I kind of already reiterated my issues with like, if you can remember my initial issues with like me not thinking that you actually established the whole intention of the author. I think that's going to be a really big focal point of the debate. And because it's like that wasn't really resolved, I can either say it's inconclusive, which would sort of go in Shonen's favor, or I can say Shonen won. That's what I'm giving at. I tried to get other people to get their thoughts, but that just turned into like a clusterfuck.
Even friggin' NTR said it, that if the
Bro,
existence of that
sorry,
if the existence
bro,
of
he came
hierarchy,
to talk
if
and
that
said I lost.
hierarchy
What the
is
fuck?
there,
Re-
then of course it would
Repeat
imply
yourself,
that
Shonen.
infinite. Of course, it would imply that infinite hierarchy. Like it's so simple to understand. I literally
First
brought
of
up
all, you
Plato's
not
theories of
even argue
points.
for yourself
Because
about
if
the
concept space exists, it would talk about all of them. I don't see why. Oh, the concept of three dimensions. What the heck is that? The concept of three dimensions is the same concept of all
Like,
dimensionality.
but
I
like,
cannot.
I
Cannot.
value NTR's
I
opinion at the end of
cannot
the day, but like,
see. I cannot
I'm
see
gonna,
how you still think that's the case.
Mhm.
I really cannot.
Yeah, yeah. So I value NTR's opinion, but at the end of the day, I have to go off of what was argued, and if you didn't derive the implication from this thing existing yourself,
It's not my
then it's
fault
just
that
like,
you're getting it. Because
huh?
now you're saying, oh well, is this what you meant? Or they asking me, explain what you meant, and now I'm explaining it, and you're like, oh shit, okay, now I get it. It's not my fault if you didn't get it.
I don't know though, because I had to ask you a million questions, and then NTR actually had to jump up for me to even understand your quote unquote position at the time, which I don't even think was your position, because it didn't even seem like you conveyed it the way that he explained it. That's my
You
main
want me
issues. Now, if you have problems with my judgment, you guys could always rewatch the recording. Be like, hey, yo, I said this way. This implies that. I want to recontest judgment. I was trying to be as fair as possible by bringing other people up, but now I gotta like actually put my foot down and say, y'all niggas need to fucking continue. Like,
That's fine.
I'm
That's
just gonna
fine.
rule it for just for peace, inconclusive. But that kind of falls back on you,
No,
Amaterasu.
don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want that. If you
Well,
genuinely want that,
technically it's gonna be
you know
inconclusive
what?
anyways, because I'm gonna go through the recording and I'm gonna see what was said. I'm gonna see what was argued specifically, because I can only keep up so much when I'm getting like bombarded by
No,
all this
I
shit.
can't be here
This
for
is
long. I can't be here for long, right? So if you think he won, then let it be. Let it be.
okay.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. I don't care what this nigga NTR talks about, bro. Because he literally about, I
We're
didn't hear
moving on.
shit. No. I'm not
Shonen,
talking. You can't stop talking when I'm
you gave
talking, my nigga. Like,
point.
for real, for real. You
You gave me the point. Shonen. You gave me the point.
this nigga interrupted.
Chill. At least hold on. I have to mute you because at least let him speak. Come on, he's been speaking the least out of the both of us.
I,
Go ahead.
I just want to NTR. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. You came in here and said you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You didn't hear shit, and you just let Amaterasu bring up new points that he never said in the dialect. And even though he's saying, "Oh, I'm just explaining further on what happened," no, that's not the fucking case, bro. And even if he is, he should be able to do that in the middle of the dialogue, not after conclusions. Like, what the
What
fuck
do
are
you
we talking
think
about here?
conclusions is
Niggas don't
for?
know the fundamentals of a fucking debate. Like, what's this? Like, if he
Okay,
didn't
okay,
fucking
okay, okay.
Conclusion.
Don't engage. Don't engage. Let it go. He said that. Now let's move on. So, okay, fuck.
Literally,
So
16
you
people
guys
said
just
they
want to
want
like
to do
agree
what I
to like
said.
a certain. I want him to get to his Natsu scaling at least, bro. Like, Y'all need to like actually progress, like actually want to progress instead of getting stuck up on these things. And I know I need to do better as a moderator, to be honest. But so
Anyway, can I finish?
yeah. Are you still on? Are you still on AP?
Yeah.
Is there
Anyway,
anything you want to grant Shonen for the sake of like progress?
bullied, since I've been bullied by the subjective opinion of the
That's
people,
because
right? I'm going to continue now. Since I've been bullied by the subjective opinion of the people, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Seeing as it transcends the concept of space, and you all believe the concept of space only encompasses the 3-dimension, which is bullshit, right? That's going to be 4-dimensional, right? And then this wasn't able to traverse Kaguya's dimension, which means Kaguya's dimension has to be higher than that,
So fifth dimensional is what you're
fifth
saying.
dimensional.
Shonen, do you have contentions or do you want to accept that?
bro, I'm not gonna look because I'm gonna be real. I'm Amaterasu. I believe I did win that point. Dead ass. If you
That's
lost
fine.
that point,
That's
can
all
you
right. Talking
can
about
you let me
space, time,
finish?
and shit. That's fine.
Can you let me finish?
Go ahead. Go
I,
ahead. My bad. My bad. Go
okay,
ahead.
you already used up your 2 scales. I told you after 2 you can't do
I'm
the
not
same one.
finished, though.
Okay,
The scale
okay,
has
let me
not
finish.
finished.
Let me fucking finish. I'm Amaterasu. Chill, bro. Damn, just
Yeah, that was
chill.
one part of it.
Okay.
Shit.
So
Okay.
now I can grant you something if I want to, but if I don't want to, I don't have to. But I will grant you solar system, and that's all I'll grant you. Well, actually, my bad. I'll grant you continental. How about that? And it's only because I only have one Natsu scale, and after that, I can't even scale him to continental
My
because I don't
guy.
know.
Right. This entire thing was one part of my scale. It was on one scan. The entire thing was on one scan, not on the entire scale. The conclusions was on one scan.
Well, if you lost that scan, if you lost that point, then you can't progress with the other premises that follow along.
The scan, the literal point was trying to assess the entire concept of space. But since we have disagreed, then I'm discarding the entire concept of space. And I'm only focusing on what you people with a subjective opinion have given to me, which is 5D. I'm literally being charitable. I'm literally being the one who's charitable here now.
But that's not what we agreed though, because we said that you could only scale 2 different. Like if you went for outer versal, then you can't get anything less than outer versal. I can't grant you that unless I want.
Who said I
It was
went for
part of our
that? I said I was going for way higher than friggin' what, low multiversal. I said I was going way higher than that.
Yeah, you went. Yeah, you tried to go outer versal and you tried to go multiversal. You can't do anything like
5D is inaccessibly higher than low multiversal. That qualifies a lot for way higher, my guy.
dude. I'm on
Dude,
Tarasu. Like, I'm
Shonen,
sorry, but I'm trying to
I'm
explain you something
incredibly
that's
proud
so
of you,
easily
mate.
understandable, but it's just not understandable to you. You already scaled. You already tried to scale out of versal. You already tried to scale
My
multiversal.
guy, my
Listen, listen, listen.
guy. I said,
It doesn't matter what you. It doesn't matter what you tried or what you did. Scale to in the progress of trying to scale to outer versal. It is not granted. You tried to scale to outer versal, and that's it. You lost that point. It's it.
are you
Oh,
finished?
go ahead.
That's the prerequisites we decided.
Are you finished?
Yeah, but just so you know, those were the prerequisites we decided on. So
Are you finished?
go ahead.
Good. Anyway, you said. Anyway, the entire conclusions was not on my scale, right? But the entire conclusions was on one scan, right?
It's
I never said I was going to outer versal. I said I was going way higher than friggin' low multiversal. That's all I said. And
Okay,
that
okay. I
doesn't
have to jump. I have to jump in there. I have to jump in there. Albatross, I don't know if you're forgetting, but I literally asked you, like, I asked you, like, are
where
you
you
just
scale.
trying to get outer? Are you? Let me go real
well.
quick, Shannon.
So are you
So I was like, are you trying to get outer? And then you're like, oh, it's I'm saying this thing is an outer versatile structure. And then I was just like, oh, why don't you just say you're trying to get outer? And then he's like, oh, I just don't want people to twist my words. So you did say that. I'm trying to be fair, bro. Like you dead ass said that. But okay. All right.
I said what?
Like you said, like that
I
you
don't want
agreed with like
people to twist my
my
words.
evaluation of your position. Like
Shonen,
What, bruh?
the fuck are you on, bro? MK asked a bunch of
No.
questions that derailed the point to this infinite hierarchy bullshit. I was asked a question to give my thoughts on what I think Amaterasu meant. And I asked Amaterasu, what did he mean between these two things? I gave two options. And people asked me what those two options meant. I explained them. You're an actual retard. You think I'm the one who brought up those goddamn.
Okay, guys, look, stop.
It's
Whoever's
fine.
bringing people up, I'm hosting this, so no one bring up people. Sorry, NTR, but I'm trying to keep the peace. I understand you have disagreements.
I didn't hear a thing you said, so if you do want to cut me off,
MK. I never
I
agreed
was
out
If
of
y'all want to discuss this another time, I want the debate to progress forward. I don't want these mini derails. I already fucking derailed this shit myself. So
and
so
by the
now I'm
way,
trying to
I'm
be a little bit more strict.
about you telling me like where you're trying to scale in the first place. That way, it can be crossed out and you can't use it again. And if you've already used two scales, then that's it.
You
And hold on, listen. Your first scan, please stop. Your first scan is a premise. Your first premise leading to outerversal, right? So it doesn't matter if it does lead to outerversal or it leads to whatever the fuck anymore. That's your second scale, wherever the
never
fuck
said
it
that.
leads. And if you
You said
lost
I
the
can't.
first premise, that shit is done. You're done scaling. Do you get it?
I'm not done scaling because the conclusion was not on the entire scale. The conclusion was on a part of it, which
Bro,
was whether it
it's not
entailed
about
the
the
entire
entire
concept.
scale. Bro,
Can I, like,
Amaterasu, that shit is
you
not
always
fair.
talking about how I'm
You're
cutting you
getting
off
three
when you never
different
let me
scales.
talk.
Bro,
Bro,
okay, so
yeah,
bro, this is so ratty, like this shit is crazy. Like y'all are just different.
that's not fair
Bro,
because
like
Tripping? Was it not? Did I introduce the entire scale yet? Did I even say the entire thing? Like,
bro, you
bro,
I
didn't
don't
you didn't
understand why
bro,
people
like
focus on
bro,
one.
like if you show like bro, like obviously no matter what point you get the argument debunked, it's always gonna be part of the argument because you have to finish it to actually get it off. Right? So if he defeats your argument anytime, it's always gonna just be part of the scale. That's what I'm saying. So
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that like you saying, oh, well, it's not the whole scale, it's part of the scale, which is like, bro, that was your main argument that you argued for over an hour.
Who said it's God damn it. We're arguing for the concept of space, right?
He granted the concept of space, by the way. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just a whether a question of what the concept of space
Still on the
encompasses
concept of space.
specifically.
I'm still on the concept of space, just not the entire thing.
No,
And
He's
you're having an issue
technically
with that.
he was saying that like for the Shibai, like the entire thing would just be like what was established in that current time. So the
And we
concept
never
of space would only
agreed to
be
that. We never agreed to
encompass.
oh yeah, this entire scan means the entire scale. I never said that. He's trying to make it say like, no, do the prerequisites that I agreed to, which was not. Like I literally, this is the first I'm hearing of it. He's like, oh yeah, well you drop that scan, which means the entire thing has to go out the window. What the heck does that mean?
Amaterasu, you're not getting it. You're sitting here
The
confused and
entire
not,
thing, the entire
bro.
thing was y'all saying
It,
you can't
it,
use the
it is
entire
because
concept. Come on, don't use the entire concept.
if
Bro,
it is to
How
introduce.
about this? How about this? We'll make a compromise. How about with this? We'll make a compromise. We can make a compromise.
I'm sorry,
So
but I'm making requisites and I'm not gonna let him scale more than
I really don't give a shit anymore. I really don't give a shit anymore. Okay, yo, I don't care. I don't care, right? If you think, oh shit, let him give me Continental, right? You think that makes sense? I'm fine with it, right? I'm
bro.
not gonna. I
I
literally
can't.
have to go
First of all,
in 10 minutes.
I can't even
I
get
didn't
Natsu.
I didn't say anything about that, by the way. So like
No, yeah,
don't precog.
I'm not saying you did, right? I'm not saying you're biased or anything, right? I'm literally fine with it. I'm literally fine with it. I feel like a large bunch of it is subjective because the first part, friggin' NCR agreed with my reasoning. You agreed with Shonen reasoning, and that's fine. That's honestly fine, right? But right now, if you think, oh yeah, Continental, shit, my entire thing has been dismissed because of one scan, then that's fine. I need to go to the gym in 10 minutes. So if you think, oh yeah, we should dismiss the entire thing.
It's just that the sheer amount of time. Because by the way, I have a 2 hour and 15-minute recording. The sheer amount of time you guys spent on that just made it just felt like just a focal point of your argument. Because if it wasn't, I assume you'd be like, oh well, I also have this thing to back it up. You know, like
But
That's literally like that's what he's trying to do. Like, bro, it's look, bro. You have 10 minutes. I haven't had a chance to scale, bro. Like
Notice how you ask me, yo, where are you trying to scale him? I told you, we don't do things like that. We don't do it like that. That's
we
where am
don't
I
do
trying to
what
scale?
like that.
You asked me, yo, how are you trying to scale him? I might let it. I'm like, yo, we don't do it like that. I
Why
don't
not?
just say, oh, I'm
Look,
trying to scale him to boundless.
okay,
Okay, I'm gonna give you boundless. It doesn't work like that. And I said that. Heck, you can check the recordings. I said that time and time again.
okay,
He asked me that time and time again.
buddy. If you don't want me to grant you anything, then your character just won't scale anywhere.
That's not how it is though. Talking
Then
about, oh yeah,
how
it's the
how
entire
is it?
friggin' debate.
Look,
One
look, look.
scan.
Amaterasu, if we made a prerequisite, okay, yeah, that scan leads to the fucking second skill. You lost the first skill, right? And then now you're talking about the second skill. You bring up the first premise that leads to the conclusion of your skill. If you fuck up that premise, you fucked up that skill. You can no longer skill again. It doesn't matter what
Who said it?
if your premise is different in the next one. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that.
We might have to
You
settle
finished?
this with like a rock paper scissors, my boy.
Are you finished?
Like,
Oh, but it's just like
Okay, look, Shonen, when did we ever talk about a scan? Oh yeah, if this scan is dismissed, you can't use it anymore. Or this part of it is dismissed, you can't use it anymore. When did we ever talk about that?
only said specifically, you can only scale 2 different times. And that in both of those times you cannot scale to the same tiering to the same tier. That's what I said. So if you already tried your second
Who
skill
says
and you fucked up
last
in the
time?
first round,
Who
then it's
says I was
over.
scaling to freaking Amaterasu last time?
It doesn't matter if you're scaling to outer verse or
Because you don't
multiversal.
know what I was scaling to, but
You scale
somehow
two
you
different
know that.
wait. Okay, hold on. By the way, I have every the whole interaction recorded. So, Shona, are you saying that you guys set a prerequisite, which I briefly remember, but I don't know the specifics like you're saying? Are you saying like you guys agreed to 2 different attempts to scale?
Yes.
And then like those 2 attempts cannot be scaling to
Scale
the
to the
same
same tier.
place.
Yeah.
Right. So you only get 2 attempts, and those are 2 attempts you can't scale to like the same
The
place.
same tier.
That's
And he agreed. He
do
fucking
you
agreed.
remember any of that, Amaterasu?
Mm-hmm.
Any of that? No?
Yeah, I said,
Okay, so what do you remember of that?
exactly what I've been saying. We're not scaling to the exact same point, which I said. I'm not scaling to Amaterasu, or I never said I was scaling to Amaterasu. So you just keep assuming, oh yes, quantum display Amaterasu.
Dude, it doesn't matter if you're scaling
I was
outer
Do
look,
you
versus.
remember
let me
Shonen
give you my
saying that
plan
you
right now.
only
Let me
get
give you my plan right now. Let me give you my
hold on,
plan right now.
hold on, real quick. So Amaterasu, are you saying that you didn't hear Shonen say that you only get 2 attempts to scale?
No. I heard him say that, right? But my attempt isn't over because, like, literally, it's not like I'm done with it, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's go to conclusion. The conclusion was on literally one statement. One statement that was the entire conclusion.
I said that we have 2 attempts to scale, bro. And if you fuck up and you try to scale, like you lose the first point, that's one time you tried to scale, and you tried to scale a second time, and you lose a point that leads to the conclusion of that second scale that you were specifically going to. You can't
Point.
alter. You can't
Yes.
alter. Why are you
When
cutting
did
me off, nigga?
you
Why are you
to the
cutting me off?
prerequisite right now? Screw this, man. I don't give a shit anymore. MK,
This is how
look,
I view
MK
it.
at
This
this
is how
point, MK at this point, say what you think is fine, and I'll accept it. I'll accept it. It doesn't matter. I'll accept it. It's fine. It's okay.
Bro, people are making me
It's
seem
100% fine.
like
I'll take whatever. I'll take whatever you give me.
Okay, so
I feel like
if
this
you
has
both
become
are
incredibly subjective.
I'm just gonna
I'll
lay
take
it I'm
whatever
gonna
you
lay
give
it
me.
out, bro. I'm gonna stop being indecisive, bro. I'm trying to be super charitable, right, and not give a premature conclusion. But I'm just gonna be super decisive. So you guys concise. You guys both agreed that you only get 2 attempts to scale, and then both times the those scales have to be 2 different scales, right?
Mhm.
From my perspective, an attempt to scale would be an attempt to make an argument, right? And I think that's pretty reasonable.
And in my perspective, that's not what it is. Using one scan to do or one statement. One statement isn't my entire argument.
That's kind of when like this part might be subjective, right? From my point, when I said like, oh, like have you started your scaling, right? And then like you gave an argument for your scale. You're definitely started your scaling, and that is an attempt to scale. Like it's really hard to get around that.
Yeah,
Like,
that because I don't at this point that's not what Shonen that's not the friggin' statement Shonen made, right? It was something totally different. And now what you're saying is just
I'm
Oh,
confused then because I laid it out before I even said anything. I laid out what he said, and then I laid out that you agreed to it, and then you didn't. I'm confused. Like the whole thing was you guys couldn't. You can only have 2 attempts to scale, and then what I
it's
consider to be scale is to just
that.
start an argument.
I'm trying to continue my scale, and then you're like, "Oh well, that's it. You don't get to friggin' go another time, or friggin' continue using the can for this shit."
It's weird because like not only do I think it was an attempt to scale, but the
But
amount,
that's
bro.
not
We spent 2
that's
hours. We spent
why it's
2
weird.
like
It's weird because I did not agree to that. Because when he said, "This is what we're doing," that was not what I was thinking. Maybe he should have clarified more, like how this is the exact same way y'all took my point away, right? You're like, "Oh, maybe you didn't explain it this way, you didn't explain it that way." Oh, that's the exact same situation. Maybe he should have clarified more. Exact same shit.
well, at least I was under the impression based off of like the
That's what
wording
I'm
that you guys both you guys agreed on the wording, but maybe not the like the meaning behind the wording, right? That's what I think was the case. I got a certain impression
Yeah.
from the wording that you guys both agreed to, and the meaning from the wording. So it's just like, I mean, if you don't want to accept it, like, holy shit, y'all are just making it so fucking hard on me. Like, this shit sucks. It's the biggest fucking ass. Yeah, I mean, if you, I'm probably just gonna go with Shonen this time. Like,
That's fine. That's fine.
by the way, my phone's at 4%. I need to go get my charger. Hold on.
Do that. Okay, but you didn't explain it that way. When he doesn't explain it that way, I mean that's what he meant, right? Fucking bots.
bro, I've been muted this whole time.
Okay. Okay.
Bro,
So do you guys want to continue? Like, he hasn't even gone into his.
how you
No one doesn't want to continue. And you said Shonen won the point, so that's fine.
bro,
I don't
you
get
said-
why, like, you said you're gonna accept what I say, whatever I say, and then
Yeah,
like you're like
exactly.
being like weirdly passive aggressive about it. But
I never
okay,
said I
sure.
wouldn't be passive if I said I'd accept it.
Well,
I
yeah,
never said I
you
would be a
seem
little bit petty about it, but I'd accept it.
honestly, bro. I took the time out of my day to like fucking
It's
promote our
accepted, yo.
server and fucking
Move on then.
like.
I mean, it's not like it was the exact same treatment, but it's all good.
You know, like, look, Amaterasu, bro.
Did I
Can we
say
get to my
anything?
like?
Did I say anything?
Look, I just this is exactly why I wanted destruction here too, to help out MK and to not make it seem like MK isn't just pointing out what exactly happened. Like MK is literally doing his best job to try to be charitable to you, and it's literally
And I think
like
that's fine.
it's
And I
literally
think that's
nothing-
fine. And I think it's
it's
incredibly
literally nothing.
subjective.
No, that's not subjective because he heard you out for another fucking 30 minutes. He brought up Ice and NTR
Is
up here, so he had you
is
out.
what
I'm like,
he
bro,
believes
intuition
about
said, intuition
dimensionality.
said that I
What
won
he
already.
believes
If
about
that's the case,
dimensionality is
that's
different from
there.
what I believe and what NTR believes. So if NT, so I believe
Bro,
it's subjective.
NTR,
NTR was
you don't know what
everything,
the fuck he
right?
was talking
Oh
about when he
wait,
came up.
I think there's a little bit of confusion. All NTR did was just like lay out what he thought you mean, and then you were
And
just
no,
like, "Oh yeah, that was
yo,
what." Because
it's the
like the
exact same
impression,
situation where you
real
were, oh,
quick,
you
real
didn't
quick,
explain it that
real,
way.
real,
It's the
real,
exact
real
same
quick,
situation where you were like, you didn't
real quick.
explain
I'm saying the
even though sh-
impression that I got from NTR's words were completely different from the impression I got from your words. So Like it's just weird that when NTR says it, I understand it, but when you say it, it just doesn't even like come across how you apparently meant it.
The
Hey,
person
look,
that tell me to explain it.
I,
The person
I might just make it. I might just make it simple and just be like, I'm
Did he
opting
say
out of judging because like I'm not gonna have like this like
That's
no, no,
fine.
passive aggressive weird
Let's,
behavior.
that's
let's
fine.
fucking finish this, bro. Like, let's just finish this, bro. The three of us started this shit. Let's finish this shit, bro. Like, can I scale now?
Yeah, but like I don't. I'm not even like. I don't even like want to give judgment type shit because I just don't want it to be seem like
I can
I'm
see where you're.
fucking like biased or some shit when everything I've said is because I genuinely believe it.
Yeah, and I believe that you're being honest, bro. And like, can we just continue, bro? Like, if people
What
don't
being
believe that you're being
is
honest and they think that you're not Raga, then so fucking be it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore. Can I scale?
I don't know, MK. Can he scale?
Can I scale?
I mean, go ahead. I mean, based off my judgment, you know.
Wait, I'm gonna send my shit in scans one as soon as I find the fucking channel. Bro,
If this
Natsu,
next
you didn't.
point, if this next point doesn't go off with like, if this shit is not smooth, bro, I'm sorry, bro, but like, I'm out. Like,
You know that's. Let me just stop this shit, bro.
cause I don't even want to be here for this point, but like,
All right. So I'm gonna send evidence of all of what I'm about to say right after I say it. So Zerf was in complete control over space and time in a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions, which are infinite in sizes, because they're actually complete parallel universes to Earthland that's stated to
Yeah,
be infinite in size.
There's the
Because I
scan.
was gonna say, can I put down my whole syllogism and then we'll go over it, or because that's kind of what I did for your multiversal point. Amaterasu.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
Uh, you're not responding. Like you told me, you said wait, and then
I never said wait. That was never
okay,
me.
okay. I'm gonna restart. So Zerf was in complete control over space and time in a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions, which are infinite in
I
sizes.
don't know what you're
Because
talking about since I can't see the scale, mate.
you just
So I
cut me
can't see
off
the
again,
scale.
and then you didn't cut me off. Like,
You
what's
said I
going on?
said wait. You replied me before. Just continue, mate.
Wait,
That,
why are you? All right,
as
I'm
long
gonna
as you said
restart again. Please just wait till I'm done, please. So Zerf was in complete control over space time in a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions, which are infinite in sizes because they're actually complete parallel universes to Earthland that's stated to be infinite in size, making it a multiverse that they seem to travel by the means of space-time portals. And there are examples of this, like Edalus, Electron, I don't know how to pronounce that shit, and Earthland. And we know Zerf wasn't exaggerating, and he was knowledgeable due to the fact that he studied space-time and life and death since a little kid, even creating a way to not only go forward in time, but back in time as well with the Eclipse Gate, proving he actually knows more about space-time than even us in reality, since we only found a way to travel ahead of time due to the theory of relativity, but we haven't figured out how to travel to the past. And Zero found out how to. So we know when he says he has complete control over space and time and was going to reset the timeline, that's what was actually going to happen. Let me send my evidence.
Yeah, feel free to send your scan and go ahead and explain again.
Okay, sure.
Child bro doesn't say some shit. And the moment when I contest it, they're like, oh yeah, that's what I meant. They're like, yeah, that's what he meant.
I'm still trying to get these fucking panels out. All right, I sent the panel. They're saying it's hard to hear me. Is it hard for y'all to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. MK, do I sound good? Because people saying like they hard to hear.
Yeah, you all good, bro.
All right. But, okay, so I sent my evidence, and I'm gonna repeat what I said.
Mhm.
There is complete control over space and time in a
Real quick,
cosmology that
let me cut you off real quick. Let me cut you off real quick. Please don't shotgun points.
don't shotgun points. Well, that's that I'm laying down my whole syllogism.
Oh, I would appreciate it if you didn't shotgun points. Because then I'm not gonna be able to friggin' reply to you, and then you're gonna be like, MK, I said this. He didn't reply to it. Okay, you win. Type shit.
Dude, stop. What do you want to go over first? Because you already let me.
No, it's your scale. What do you want to go over first? Just don't shotgun.
Okay. 1 second.
Talking about some continental. Crazy.
So I sent the panel where
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Vera claims he has complete control over space and time, and I sent the panel, and we know he's exaggerating. So send the panels to the proof of what I'm about to say right now.
Which one? Is it real quick? Let's take it slow. When you say I sent the panel, are you talking about this panel? Is it the first one you're talking about? Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so talk on that panel.
You said what?
Talk about the panel.
Okay, so we know Zareth wasn't exaggerating, and he was knowledgeable due to the fact that he studied space, time, and life and death since a little kid. Even creating a way to not only go forward in time, but back in time as well. With the Eclipse Gate proving he actually knows more about space and time than even us in reality, since we've only found a way to travel ahead of time due to the theory of relativity. But we haven't figured out how to travel to the past, and Zareth found out how to. So we know when he says he has complete control over space and time and was going to reset the timeline, that's what was actually going to happen. He knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? So now
Okay.
we're still talking about the first scan, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So space and time is everything to my control. You're like, oh yeah, he knows about space and time, which means he's not capping, yeah?
Wait, what? Why is he not capping?
You said seeing as he knows all about space and time, seeing as he's studied it since he was a kid,
Yeah, sure.
then he's
That is what
not capping, right?
that's what I said.
Okay. So first of all, can you go ahead and explain how his knowledge on it would explain that he is completely hyper realistic on what he's explaining?
Why is it realistic? Well, if you know what you're talking about, it entails that you know the components of what make a particular thing, and that
Mhm.
if he knows the criteria of what it takes for a specific amount of components or a mixture of components equaling, I guess, let's just say space and time in this example, then we know because he knows what he's talking about, and he knows the components that make up basically the results of being in control over space and time, he would know that he is in control over space and time.
Okay. See, what I'm saying is, how do we know he's talking hyperliterally?
I just explained that.
Him having knowledge on it doesn't mean he would be talking hyperliterally on it. Can you explain
I
why he
told
would be talking hyperliterally?
Is this? Can I get clarification? Is this like equivalent to like you saying like why isn't he lying?
Not necessarily lying, because like if I make a statement and I'm like, yeah, I'm the strongest being ever, right? I'm not lying, right? I might truly believe it. Maybe I might truly believe it, but I might not be 100% hyperliteral on it because I'm the strongest being in the world. Doesn't mean I'm lying necessarily or trying to be a liar. Also, go ahead first before I continue. So you want me to continue before you go ahead?
Go ahead. I don't know what you're trying to say right now.
So yeah, also, if anyone here has seen Fairy Tail, you know that Zeref couldn't defeat friggin' what's that dude's name? Acnologia. And Acnologia literally states here that he cannot control the friggin' power of time. It's too great for him. And we know time is contingent on space, indicating that if he cannot control time, which is contingent on space, he wouldn't be able to control space either. So or rather, yeah, he wouldn't be able to control space either. Which would mean that friggin' Zeref, who's below him, controlling it would just be false.
Wait. What is first of all? There's a couple things you said there. First of all,
Uh-huh.
when did this occasion where I guess Agnologia said this? When was this?
And was
At
this?
what
It
time?
was It was in the fight against. It was in the fight against. I believe Natsu. It was a bunch of fire dragons. I remember watching this
Okay, yeah.
like
So that's
3 years
all
ago.
before. That's all before the point in time where Zeref actually got the capability to actually do that. So obviously he can't be. He's referring to the Zeref that wasn't at that form yet. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Zeref that was at a form that he could be capable of it.
Like
Wasn't
this,
controlled.
even this Seraph talks about how he cannot friggin' defeat fucking Loki.
Yeah, and that's before. That's before. Zeref got an amp. Zeref got an amp, and now he can't do it. So when if you're saying that he was fighting fire dragons, like, hold on, let me see. Do I see his arm? I can't make sure. Oh yeah, I think I do see. What's his name? Agnologia's arm. And if I see his arm, that means he hadn't fought Igneo yet. And if he hadn't fought Igneo yet, then that means they hadn't got to the point where Zeref got the amp. And
A long time ago. What are you talking about?
huh?
He fought Ignil a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
This was before when Zeref actually had control over space and time or had the amp. So it's not, doesn't count, doesn't refute the actual form of Zeref that was actually in control over space and time. This just refutes the previous base form Zeref that didn't have the capability to control space over
It's
time,
very
space
hard.
and time.
Now, what is the
Huh?
evidence of that? What is the evidence of that?
Where's the evidence of that, dude?
Mhm.
Something happened before. Okay, first of all, it's up to you. If you're saying that the fire dragons were fighting Agnologia, that happens before Zeref gets the fairy heart and actually gains the power to control space and time.
Yeah, how do we know what happens before? Like, where's all that?
This nigga's ratting. All right, hold on. Okay. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Chapters would help. Chapters would help.
okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. This is a very bad picture, but I'm using your picture.
Let me see. Can you provide me a chapter? I can look through it in like 5-10
I mean,
minutes.
you're the one that provided a chapter of where this instance was. You're saying that it happened when he was fighting dragons, and in fact, I think
you claim that it was. Oh, this is before. So, like, can you provide evidence of that? She made a certain claim.
Okay, it's before because Agnologia had his hand before Igneo fucking chewed that shit off, right? And in the picture that you just sent, Agnologia still has his hand. Therefore, it happened before the fucking narrative actually had control.
I'm not even trying to be ratty. I cannot see shit. Like literally a chapter.
It's up to you to actually get the actual panel. Like you're the one that brought up this different possibility of what's actually going on here. So if you're saying Agnologia is referring to the
Let me
Zeref
see if
that
I
I'm
can
talking
provide.
about, you're the one that has to
Oh
prove
yeah.
that.
So okay, good. I found a chapter. So in the chapter I have here, right?
Just tell me the chapter. Just tell me the chapter number. Tell me the chapter number.
539. He doesn't have his arm anymore. There's the scan. So yeah, that shit you're showing is not correct. Right there. He doesn't have his arm.
Oh, this is the time.
That arm is gone.
What is Agnologia? What is the correlation between Agnologia not having a specific capability to Zeref having a specific capability?
Because Agnologia is stronger than Zeref.
Okay, what? I don't think that was ever actually. I guess you can prove that. And even if okay, you know what? Just prove that, bro. Just try to prove Agnologia is stronger than Zeref because there's no proof that Agnologia was stronger than Fairy or Zeref that was gonna reset the whole timeline. So, like,
okay, give me a minute. Let me find this scan. Let me find this scan. I have it somewhere. How long do I have? Yo, MK, how long do I have?
Bro, I don't know, bro. Just like 10 minutes, bro. Like, is that reasonable? Like, just look for the scan. Do you
Okay,
guys
you
need
seem tired.
scans? Like, if you guys need scans, I can provide them, but it has to be for both of you guys, not just one.
You seem tired, MK. Are you tired, MK?
Yeah, I'm tired of you niggas.
Honestly, you did the same thing. Honestly, Amaterasu. Again, you never explained anything. Like you never refuted what I actually said about Zeref's knowledge on him being in control over space and time, and like he is actually. But no, it's whatever, bro.
No, you made a claim. Like, did you provide evidence of that claim?
Do you guys
Yeah.
need scans? Yes or no? Do you guys both want to have access to
You
scans?
have the scan. You have
Hold
the
on, hold
scan.
on. I sent the scans. I sent the scans. This nigga created a portal like Agnologia. Okay, referring to complete control over space and time. It doesn't matter who says what. Agnologia does what's his name? Zeref does because Zeref
I swear
actually
we
found
can't
out.
hear you. We
Bro,
can't hear
Zeref
you,
found out.
mate.
Oh, fucking God, this nigga talks the moment I talk. Zeref found out a way to go to the future, but to the past too. Agnologia does not have complete control over space and time the way Fairy Heart Zeref did. And like this is like it doesn't matter. Agnologia is like what the fuck, bro? Like, Agnologia's strength is independent from Zeref's strength.
I finished.
Nigga, stop saying that shit, bro. Like go on about your fucking evidence, nigga.
Keep talking, and I'm like, yo, when are you finishing?
Nigga, fucking send your evidence. How about that? Like, bro, like it doesn't fucking
Look,
matter which like,
because
bro.
you keep cutting me off, so I have to
Yo,
wait for you to
how am I
finish.
telling you? You're the same shit. You were writing the same evidence. Bro, you know what, bro? Just stop, bro. Because then MK finna fucking leave, and I'm not finna do this shit no more, bro. Like, bro, that's not a
Yeah.
bro.
The entire reason I'm asking you if you're finished is so I can tell you to explain. Because you were literally like, can someone
Oh,
either
go
make
ahead,
a poll or like,
go
can
ahead,
people?
go ahead.
Yo, MK, let me just ask MK. Yo, MK, was he clear when he was making that explanation? Please, like, as honest as you
Bro,
can,
just
was he
go
clear?
ahead, bro. What are you talking about,
I couldn't hear you explain, mate. You
bro?
said you found a scan and you were talking about something, and I'm asking you, what are you talking about? What did you see?
What are you talking about? I didn't see any scam. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying the argument for Zero having complete control over space and time is independent from Agnologia being stronger than him or not. So like you can't just bring up oh Agnologia says he couldn't control space and time, therefore Zverev can't. No, Zverev obviously has more knowledge over space and time. Like I said, Agnologia never to go to the past or the future, which is the reason why he's going to the Neo eclipse in the first place. I mean the space between time in the first place. Zverev, he did that shit by himself with the fucking fairy heart. Like it's different, and he can like bro. First of all, attack that shit because if you don't, I don't see how you're gonna win this.
Can I go?
I'm not even gonna answer that, bro.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? You were not clear. I swear, with all my heart, you were
You
not
want
clear, mate.
like his argument isn't clear to you? Like you don't
Yeah, like
understand
he
it?
was like, his mic is not clear. Like I literally cannot hear him.
Okay. So Shonen, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I'm literally writing shit down with this retarded ass headache. So Shonen, were you saying that because Zeref understands the fundamentals behind space and time, he would know how to control it better than Agnologia, who doesn't?
Well, not only just control it, but he would be able to understand it. He would be able to, just
I
interact with
said
it.
that. I said it.
Okay with it. Then yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so
Thank you.
that's his
Get
argument.
it?
Do you need me to repeat it, Amaterasu?
So okay, so you believe that because Zarif has more knowledge on space and time, that he would have more control over it,
No. First of
or
all,
his
I'm not
control
even
over it would feel
where
and
free flow
Apologia.
control over space and time in the first place. I never asserted that. What I am saying is that seemingly this nigga Zero has not only found a way to go into the future, but found out a way to go into the past from the extensive studying that he's done as a kid and engineering a portal that does that. So I'm saying Agnologia hasn't got to that kind of level of dealing with space and time. So when we're referring to when Zeref says he's in complete control over space and time, that's independent from what Agnologia can do with space and time. Period.
Okay, so yeah, I still don't believe just because he's been able to like discover time travel. I don't believe that's gonna give him power over space and time. Like if let's even go into science fiction, if a character discovers time travel, or in Dragon Ball, where Bulma discovered a time machine. I saw a scale where they're trying to get Bulma to immeasurable speed because she discovered a time she built a time machine. Just because you have power like that and you're able to go back in time, right? Like Toki in One Piece, she can go back in time. Doesn't mean you have control over time. Like these characters, all these characters have been tried to have people have tried to get them to immeasurable speed just because of their ability to go back in time. That's all it is, an ability.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm not
I don't think that because you can go back in
I'm not
time, you have presence over time.
Oh my God. I'm not trying to get him to know inaccessible, immeasurable speed, bruh.
And I never said you were. I'm just talking about these characters.
By the way, like, do you guys let me know because some people think this is outside help. If one of you guys like is attacking like thin air, like, do you want me to point it out in the debate, or do you guys
I
just
don't.
want me to just let you guys do it?
What do you mean like thin
Oh,
air?
I just gotta say one more thing.
Like,
I gotta.
you're you're like kind of straw manning and attacking the wrong thing. Like, if I
Yeah,
see that, would you?
like, can you say, yo, Shonen, if I straw man, tell me, yo, that's not my point, and explain it, or
Okay,
have MK explain
let's just
it.
say
Mike,
this last. You can just do whatever you want to do, my brother.
come again?
No, we know the actual actions of going up to a door, actually saying, a timeline is gonna reset, and we know he's serious, bro. Like he's trying to rechange his life, and that's what he's been studying to do his whole entire life, and he's gonna do this by resetting the timeline. And so if he's extensively studying space and time, even reaching a specific, I'm gonna just say accolade because I'm not gonna come up with the right word for it right now. Like creating travels to the past and the future, it would entail that he does know what he's talking about when he says he's in complete control over space and time. That's what I'm saying. Okay, if you got something to say to that, go ahead. And I don't even think it's gonna be a proper rebuttal, and everybody else is gonna get fucking mad at me. And okay, I don't give a fuck. So go ahead.
No, it's fine. Right. I still just don't believe that his knowledge on it is going to dictate the actual power he has over it.
Yeah. I don't think that's a proper refutation. You can think what you want. You could like
Right.
you could, like unless you get
You keep
okay. Look,
reiterating that, oh, he has knowledge over it, which means he has power over it. I don't think that's the case, seeing as some. Continue, mate. Can
well, you believe it's just I don't even know where to go from here because I don't know where you just saying you don't believe it. Like and the thing is, huh?
Can you provide evidence of it? You're saying, oh, just because this is the case,
Oh,
then
I sent the panel.
you
No. I sent the panels of him literally engineering things like the
yes. And I brought the analogy of Bulma. Bulma understands space and time. She literally creates a time machine. Mind you, she has no energy. She can't fly like friggin' Videl, who is a normal human but can fly. Bulma has zero energy. She can't do jack shit, but she could still create a friggin' time machine to go back in time. Or to go, was it between timelines or some shit? But it's a crazy feat. That should be a crazy
Okay,
feat.
bro. All right, bro. I'm forcing conclusions, and then I'm out, bro. After this, bro. Like, I'm just
we
gonna
don't.
force conclusions. Please give your conclusions, and then I'm out, bro. This
All right.
debate sucked.
Can I just ask one thing? Are we gonna go over speed or is this just it?
Bro, it's
I mean,
like,
it might not matter depending the outcome, but okay. So go ahead, Amaterasu. You know what? How about I go ahead? I'm gonna fucking conclude first. So my argument was Zev was in complete control over space and time, and he knew, and we know that over a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions. I said that, blah blah blah. He never really gave a fuck about all of that. But I was saying he does know what he's talking about when he says he's in control over space and time in general because he studied space and time as a little kid, even creating not only theory over data that he studied, but actually engineering into an actual gate that can take you from the past to the future. Therefore, in telling that he knows the components that make up the result of being in control of over space and time. So, therefore, I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, you go over his knowledge on space and time, and he knows it almost extensively, almost exhaustively, even, right? And I'm saying that just because he has that knowledge, right? Like Bulma has a lot of knowledge about space and time. She's a normal human with zero energy, but she can still build a machine that goes back in time, right? She can do that. And if she says, "Oh, I'm the master of time," right? Because no one else is doing this shit. If she says that, she says, "I'm the master of time," that's not true, right? She can make that statement because she has that level of understanding and that sort of precedence over time. Because that is sort of a precedence over time because you're able to go back in time. So yeah, if she makes that statement, it doesn't mean like she is now beyond time in some sort of way. It's a statement. It's not false inherently. She's not lying, right? But yeah, that she doesn't have, like, she doesn't literally scale above time in that sense. So yeah, I don't believe in this sense Zeref would scale over time just because he has knowledge on time or space inherently. Not inherently. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, like that's it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna run your guys' arguments down. So, right. So basically, Shonen argued that Zeref has knowledge on space-time because he traveled in the past and studies the fundamentals of it. So it's likely that he's telling the truth when he said that he's transcending space and time after absorbing the fairy heart. And Amaterasu's counter argument was that Natsu beat Zeref, but couldn't beat Agno. What?
That's my argument. My argument here, which is on this specific point, is that I mean, I just said everything. Like you can make me say everything again.
I'm gonna get there, bro. We're not talking about this. I'm laying out your whole argument.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so and Amaterasu, your counter argument initially was that Natsu beat Zeref but couldn't beat Agnologia, who couldn't control the time space magic. So basically, what you're trying to say with this is like, okay, Zeref doesn't transcend time because he's weaker than someone who couldn't control time space magic. And then Shonen, your response was saying that Zeref understands the fundamentals behind space and time, so he would likely know how to control it better than someone who doesn't have that knowledge. And then Amaterasu, you had responded to that by saying just because Zeref knows how to go back in time doesn't mean he transcends it. Which that was sort of the straw man that I was asking if you guys wanted to point out, because I don't, Amaterasu, you kind of misrepresented his argument there.
Okay, you think just finish what you think and like just say the actual winner, and then because I don't want them to think, oh, he's leaning towards Amaterasu already before he actually like. I just want you to say who you thought won. Like,
Okay,
instead of
I hate this, but I think Shonen won. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish though. Amaterasu, the main reason why I think you lost is just because like you misunderstood his argument and that led you to attack something that wasn't his position. Like the thing that you attacked that wasn't his position was that because Zeref knows how to go back in time, therefore he transcends it, which that wasn't what he was saying. He was saying that because he studies the fundamentals of time and actually went back in time, then if he had time space magic, he would know how to control it better than someone who doesn't have that knowledge. Right? And just because like you had sort of a misunderstanding that never was resolved, I guess I would give it to Sean.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I mean, if you have any
Yeah.
questions.
Well, you
Thanks for
straw man me. My point was never, oh, he's able to go back in time because he transcended. No, that is totally not my point. Shonen said, oh,
No. I
because he has
wasn't saying that was your point. I was saying that
because he has
your
knowledge.
point
Yeah,
highlighted his.
I thought that was Shonen's point. I never thought that was Shonen's point. I know Shonen's point is, seeing as he understands it, like then I use Bulma. Bulma understands time a lot. Heck, she can make an entire time machine. Friggin', what's that other character I use? But she understands time. I use Toki too. But Bulma is one that is a perfect example. She understands time a lot. She can literally create a time machine, right? Of course, if she makes the statement, "Oh, I'm the master of time," right? It doesn't mean that she is the master of time, first of all. And yeah, just because she has that understanding on it doesn't mean she has power over it. That was my argument.
Yeah, that's a separate situation. Okay.
That's a separate situation. Like, what do you
It's
mean?
like no one was saying. I feel like you like said you weren't saying that was his argument by bringing up, but by bringing up Bulma, you kind of are saying that's his argument because you're
That is
saying
not
that
what
the knowledge, real quick,
okay.
because you're saying that the knowledge doesn't entail the power, which that's not the argument. The knowledge isn't that it entails the power. The argument is that given that he has the knowledge. If he had the power, he's likely to know how to control it. So the point of contention isn't that knowledge is equivalent to power, right? Your Bulma analogy would be correct, right? Her being able to go back in time doesn't entail she transcends it. But that wasn't the argument. The argument was the fact that if she, huh?
Nothing. Continue.
Yeah, so he got the fairy heart, and then once he said that, he said he achieved the power over space and time. Your defeater was that Agnologia is above him, and Agnologia doesn't transcend space and time. And then Shonen's counter argument was that essentially, since he understands the fundamentals behind time and space, if he had time space magic, then it would be likely he would know how to control it, therefore sort of resolving the issue. Even if you say Agnologi is above him, he just doesn't understand the fundamentals behind space-time to control it as proficiently as someone like Seraph. That's more the thing.
So where in that entire judgment talks about where he's above space and time.
Via I'm pretty sure the scans he sent, like what
So
do you
yeah,
mean
in
where
that
am I judgment? Can you clarify what you mean by that?
So Shonen, you think that him having control over space and time would mean having control over space and time means he transcends space and time?
Wait, my bad. Did he not say that? Because usually when people argue this, I immediately get the gist that that's what they're going for. Is that not what is happening? Like,
Shonen, go ahead and speak.
your
Shonen.
mic is going off, Shonen, but we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Let me see.
Shonen.
Just rejoin. Oh, he's not even here.
Can I say something in front of everybody? Look,
Oh,
Amaterasu, please.
we can hear you now.
Okay, y'all can hear me good? Can
Yeah,
I
we
say
can hear you
something,
now.
Amaterasu, please? Like NTR, first of all, you gotta mind your own business. I don't even get into it with you, but that's aside from that. Everybody that's saying they think Amaterasu won, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Y'all niggas are fucking trash in of itself. Y'all can't come to a conclusion by yourselves. I know I won this shit. And as much as I hated putting MK through this shit, I fucking won this shit. Fuck everybody that doubted me. I knew I would do this shit. Big dick nigga Shonen. All right, y'all go ahead.
Did you hear his question though?
Your
Oh,
point.
what was his question?
God damn it.
Fuck. Oh, you said so, Amaterasu. You had asked something like, "Where in my conclusion was a particular thing?" Oh yeah, you were saying like, So with this, Sona, were you arguing that like control over space time entails that you transcend it? Because that's the impression that I got, and I wasn't necessarily sure if you were going for that. Maybe Amaterasu didn't get that impression, but like, is that what you were arguing? Like having control over it entails that like you transcend it? We can't hear
Again,
you once again.
In VC when they asked the question. NTR, you talking too much shit, bro. Like, you can be the next fucking victim, nigga. You're fucking stuck, bitch
Look,
ass nigga.
just leave him alone. Shona, did you hear the question again or no?
What was the question? I'm not like, bro. I thought we already concluded what's going on here now. Like,
He's just he was clarifying on your position. He was asking like, are you saying that because he has control over time and space, therefore he transcends it? Was that your argument, or are you arguing something else?
well, it actually does say transcend space and time. But if you think I'm trying to get like out of verse, so I'm not. I'm
never
not the
said
Rasu.
never
Huh?
said that.
So
Yeah,
what
I'm
do you?
asking Right.
If you
Is
wanna,
your argument that, oh, he transcends space and time because he has control over it? Are you trying to prove he transcends space and time?
no, that's not what I said. I said there was a complete control over space and time and a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions, which are infinite sizes. That's what I said.
We're
Because
talking about that first hand. We're not talking about array of all that.
I just said that, what I said. I didn't say anything other than what I just said. Period.
Okay, so I guess he's not arguing that. The answer is no.
So yeah, he has control over time. Bowman did too. Big whoop. Let's go on.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Go on.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree. He does have control. He can control time. Sure.
Okay. My other evidence shows that it's in a cosmology that consists of an infinite array of dimensions.
So
And the proof of that, hold on, let me go to Stan's one.
how does him controlling space and time entail that he can control all of that too? Because like, what is your do you believe he can control the infinite array of dimensions too? MK, please clarify, man.
No,
Are you asking me?
like,
Yeah,
bro, he doesn't he
I'm
doesn't even
asking you,
clarify
right?
anything because this is all you're doing. You don't know how to understand. You got MK to help you understand, and then niggas say it's you versus MK, and then I'm not the one fucking slamming. Nigga, all the theory that's fucking being said right now is coming from me.
You want me
All
to
right.
strawman you? Okay, fine.
Listen,
I'll
okay,
argue
if you
against
stall
what
at me, if you stall at me,
fine.
look,
I'll
let me tell
argue
you something.
against I'll
If
argue
you
against
sit
white
there,
man. I'll
Okay,
argue
chill
against white
out, chill out, chill out,
I will
chill
argue
out,
against
chill
white
out,
man.
chill out,
That's
chill
fine,
out,
man.
chill out, chill
Let's
out.
do that.
I don't want to have to mute people. Just one at a time. Stop interjecting, cutting off each other off or yelling, just please.
Trying to have a healthy dialectic here. I'm asking. I'm trying to not straw man, but you have an issue with that too.
I'm
Why is it?
saying though, if the judge is completely capable of understanding my argument and you're not, and you're strawmanning it, then that's a good issue
He's
from
the
your
fairy
part.
tale guy. I'm not the fairy tale guy, so I'm asking him.
No, that doesn't fucking matter. I'm presenting the theory of this in this specific debate, and that's all. So you need to understand what the other debater is saying. If you
My
can't
guy,
seem to understand it, hold on, listen. If you can't seem to understand it, but MK does understand it, then it's just a skill issue from your part, and it's only help to ask MK to explain to you what I said. That's literally only help. But in the eyes of everybody else, he's helping me. Like that's not fair.
if I drop the statement where Sengoku said Whitebeard can destroy the world, what would you assume I'm talking about? A One Piece fan who knows One Piece would know, oh yeah, he's talking about that said friggin' Whitebeard is planetary, right? So I'm asking MK. He knows what you're talking about via the scan. It's not war, bro.
What are you confused about? I will help you.
I'm literally asking a question. You said, okay, space, because I was like, don't shotgun points, let's go friggin' scan by scan. First scan I provided you, like, are you talking about this one? You're like, yeah, you're talking about this one. Space and time, everything is mine to control, right?
What are you
And then
talking
you said, oh,
about?
yeah,
What the fuck are you talking about? Deadass?
Jesus Christ.
Bro,
I said,
can you hurry the fuck
what?
up? Like,
What
I
did you
just don't
say?
see how this, bro, can you hurry up? Like, I don't know if you're starting from the fucking beginning and retelling everything, but just go ahead, hurry up, get to the point where we're at.
What do you mean by he transcends? He's freaking he can control space and time. Okay, where are you trying to go with that? Continue. So I'm trying to say
Okay. Yeah, I was continuing. I was saying that he was gonna reset the fucking timeline in the cosmology. That's what the
he
fuck
was
I
gonna.
said.
Okay. Now, good. I'm glad you said that. That's all I was asking, mate.
I've
I
been
have to get
fucking
so
said that shit, but you keep fucking
Okay,
cutting me.
chill out, bro. Just chill.
Bro,
Just
this
chill.
shit is getting annoying already. This nigga Amaterasu is failing to understand my argument. And like, bro, this is taking too fucking long, bro. Like, you know what, bro? I'm not gonna be as charitable as him to explain no more. Just go ahead. Say what you need to
I
say. I'm
can
gonna say what I need to say. I'm
promise
gonna
you,
conclude.
90% of the people in the comments don't understand what he's saying. Anyway, so yeah, I don't believe just because he can control space and time, which means he can freaking control the entire, or rather, all dimensions. And he was gonna reset the timeline. I don't think he can control all dimensions.
Okay, so he's gonna be in his own universal plus or universe. I mean, man, and it still scales above whatever you got. I don't give a fuck. I was trying to get into multiverses so I can present to the people a Natsu scale, but I'm tired of this fucking shit. It still gets zero. If he's gonna reset the timeline in his own fucking universe, that makes him universal still. Okay, and it's above fucking Naruto. I don't care.
Why is this timeline universal?
Why is this timeline okay, I got you.
Yeah. I'll get why resetting a timeline is a universal scale.
O tier, who has complete control over other parallel universes and futures, claims that the universe, which she also can control, like the Earthline itself. She claims that Earthline is infinite in size, and we know she's not kidding when she says that, because she also has control over space and time. She also has control to parallel universes and access to parallel universes, and an infinite amount of them actually too. So that would actually just benefit multiversal. But yeah, go ahead, read the scan.
Is that everything? Can I go now?
Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah. Timeline. First of all, you talk about the fact that each of the crystal ball contains a different parallel universe, possible future, and she creates an infinite amount of futures, parallel universes. Is this
I
trying
don't
to?
think
Are you
that.
trying to use?
I don't
Come
think
again?
that she. I don't think that Ultier is actually creating it, but she's just bringing it into a form of a ball. So like out there exists this trans-dimensional device that explains that there's an infinite array of dimensions. That there's there's an infinite I guess stacking of dimensions or infinite array of dimensions, however you want to interpret that. And hold on, let me look at the scale one more time. Okay, so yeah, the trans-dimensional device. And she's just bringing these specific parallel universes, which we know exist through Edalus, and just worlds where parallel versions of Natsu, all fairy tale existed. So we know that what I think is that she's just actually bringing those parallel universes in existence in the form of a ball. It's not that she's creating them themselves; that they exist outside, but she's capable of, embodying it via her own ability, which is able, which she has control over the time in the universe.
Yeah. Okay, so these infinite futures that she can bring into reality, right? Are they the same as the parallel universes?
I would assume yes. I don't think that she's actually creating it. I'm not going to try to argue that she's actually creating infinite amount of parallel universes. I think that what she is creating is just a little ball that consists of inside those infinite dimensions that the transdimensional device picks up.
So essentially, these futures are the universes she's talking about. So yeah, first of all, the raw scans say isekai, which is just different planet or different world, not different planet, different world, right? And then she refers to them as futures. So yeah, how big are these futures that she's bringing into this single one? Also, I don't believe they're infinite, because if they are infinite, then they should literally fill the space, the entire friggin' planet. Meanwhile, we can see a lot of space between Natsu and these balls. So yeah, they're not infinite. They cannot be infinite, because she hasn't. There definitely isn't an infinite amount of balls there. Second of all, if she's talking about futures, right? How big are these futures? These parallel worlds, because it's isekai that's used, right? So yeah, how big are they?
First of all, give me the kanji for the isekai, and I don't know how you're going to interpret that, because that could just be interpreted as however the context sees it, please. And obviously, I'm going to say it's going to be the dimension wise. And when you're referring to the future possibilities, and that they're not actually infinite in size or whatever, or they're not infinite. I'm saying like she's just embodying the actual dimension and the size of a ball. So like that's completely possible and it's completely logical. You can have a little fucking ball, which within it exists a whole universe. I mean, that's theoretically how we think multiverse exists in the first place.
Mhm. So it's possible, but how big are they? How do we know that they're actually that big?
They're
What's the
parallel.
evidence that they are?
Listen, they're parallel universes to the one.
No, isekai, different world, not just parallel universes, different world.
Okay, parallel world, like I said, isekai can just be interpreted as dimension. And first of all, you never even got me the kanji where you said it says, like, I'm still waiting for that.
Okay, give me a bit.
And like I said, like possible worlds. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've translated that myself before, and it said universes, but somehow all your fucking translations just say some dumb shit with horrible English literature. But
Yeah, isekai does sometimes translate to parallel universes. Of course it
That's
does.
exactly what I'm going to tell you, and I'm telling you that's more
I do.
contextually what they're referring to. And the reason why all these other universes or possible futures are. Oh, bro.
Yeah, but the reason it translates to friggin'
Bro,
different world most of the time is because
you just sent me a picture. Oh my god, you literally just sent me a picture of Google Translate typing in
you want me to
Isekai and what it
what is
means.
it?
And I asked you, give me the fucking raw kanji, please.
Oh, like what do you mean? Do you what the heck do you mean? You mean like the friggin'
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. I'm
the
sorry.
scan?
I'm about to tell everybody what this is. Like, shit is stupid.
Am I tripping?
Where the
What is
fuck
he
is
trying
the
to say,
kanji?
bro? Like,
Where the
thank
fuck is
you.
the kanji?
He
Where the
look,
fuck is
thank you. Like, what are you looking for, mate? Just communicate, mate. That's it.
where, bro? Send me the raw panel that shows the raw. Like, what are we? What's
Raw
so hard
panel,
to
that's fine.
See
understand?
the kanji. Look at the chat. God damn.
What chat? Bro, who the fuck just said that, bro? Like,
Look
oh
in
my
the
God.
scans chat. He literally sent the raw kanji above the scan from Google Translate. Look with your eyes, fuck ass nigga. Jesus. Stop wasting everyone's time.
MK is not even here, bro.
MK's gone.
Why is this stupid fucking dork talking to me, bro? You fucking shitty ass piece of shit, bro. I will fucking slam you on your neck too, NPR. Like, you fucking trash ass nigga. You fucking lost in straw man soul the whole entire fucking time. And you think you fucking good, you trash ass nigga. Fuck out of here. Anyway,
You're a
Amaterasu.
retard, bro. You know, you realize it was literally
Dumb-
you. It was literally MK who was asking those dumbass questions.
Dumbass stuff, nigga.
Hey, chill, chill, chill.
I know because you're the one supposed to be sitting here fucking judging between two shit and fat knee fucking bitch. I'm tired of this fucking shit, bro. Like, MK left. Like, Ross was being a fucking competitive. We
MK
can't.
said he's coming back. MK said he's
So
coming back.
wait, just to be
It's
clear,
obvious.
mate, are you
It's obvious that this shit is fucking done. MK fucking left,
you're yelling, mate?
He
Calm
bro.
said
down.
MK said he's coming back.
I'm done. I'm tired, nigga. Y'all fucking jumped the fuck out of me. Everybody was being charitable.
No one's
Yeah,
jumping you, mate.
shut up. Everybody was being charitable to you, and everybody made it seem like it was for me. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Y'all niggas is
Charitable to me.
shut up. I don't give a fuck anymore, bro. MK left. There's no point of us sitting here arguing like a
Yo,
fucking dork.
Shonen, chill. It's not a fight, mate. Charitable to me. It wasn't charitable to me. Heck, look at this. Where's that damn friggin' photo that nigga sent? Look at this. Look in general chat. Look at that, bro. That was literally me in last friggin' Yeah, so bro wasn't being charitable to myself. Chill, yo. Yo, bro got banned. That's mad. Oh,